Benton.
I like that, babe. GG with the GG.
Alright. What are you playing? Oh, you're probably playing Leo. Yeah, figured. Oh no! You have a battle tuna.
I do. I have a battle tuna. It's a frozen swordfish.
Mmm.
Yeah, I have nearly all of the collectibles now.
I figured. Okay. Pop out chat.
Papa, I'm loving it.
Ba, 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 ba. Why is my Twitch not popping up?
Because your Twitch needs to be popping.
For whatever reason, I refreshed the page and it works now all of a sudden. Whatever. Okay. Alright, you're playing Leo. I'm gonna start off with Geo, I think. I want to get some more practice in with the Geo. Oh, you're floor 8 all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Alright, I want to see how bad you kick my ass here.
To be honest with you, Floyd's kind of a joke.
What is?
Floyd.
Oh, is it? Ooh. Ooh, nice. Nice, nice.
I learned earlier that that'll hit you like if you're really high up in the air.
Oh, can it? Okay, that's good to know. Ooh, nice grab. Oh, again, nice grab. And you get the free overdrive hit. Ooh, nice. That went ouchie. That was awkward. How far can he charge and get behind you?
Pretty far.
Jesus. He can wall break you so fast. Damn. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, you're right. That can hit you pretty hard. That's crazy.
GG.
Mm.
Take your time if you need it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was just taking a drink.
Society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Nice. Thank God I had full tension when you did that, though. Oh, nice Roman cancel. Good.
Oh.
Hey, gotcha on around.
Yeah, good job. That's right.
Okay.
What?
Wow, I can't believe that hit you. Well, all right, I was still holding my shield, but sure. Oh, that's good. Oh, what? What? Okay. Good fight.
Hey, lovely, I'm falling asleep.
Okay, baby. Just sleep well, okay? I don't.
Okay, I think I'm gonna actually hop out of the chat. Though.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to keep you up.
No, you're all good, lovely. I'll message you in the morning unless you or one of your alters has some thing going on that's needed to call me for.
Okay. Thank you for being there for us.
Oh, of course, always. Alright, love you, baby.
I love you.
You sleep well when you go sleep.
I will.
Okay, night, eyes.
Oh,
Whatever, dude. Oh, that's so dumb.
whew. Okay.
Just why did you get up pressing buttons there? Like, what made you think? Like, I could have killed you.
Wait, what'd you say?
It's just, it's weird. No.
Okay.
Go again.
That they cannot change society.
It's just like getting up pressing buttons there is just weird because you have so low health and Leo has a lot of moves that can kill you.
To be honest, like, because I guess I'm used to playing against Heaven's Potemkin, and usually jumping on that grab, usually is the way I get out of it, so I probably just did it out of instinctual feelings, even though I'm not playing against Potemkin. Oof. I didn't mean to hit that button, but sure. Oh, nice cancel. Okay. I should probably save my burst for the next round. Oh, I didn't know if you were taking a drink or something because you didn't move. Oh, good grab. Oh. Nice. Oh my god, I can't believe this. Whew.
What?
Good fight. Oh. Ah, shit.
Stop eating my fucking input.
Oof.
I was trying to do that special like 150 fucking times.
Oh, jeez. That sucks. Okay, I can't believe that hit either. Oh, come on. Ooh, okay. Wow. I can't believe I hit you with that.
I was trying to throw. I don't know why I didn't.
Gotcha.
Just, I guess the way the game works.
Oh. I need to get better at figuring out the ranges for throws. Nice.
GG's.
GG. 1 second.
I thought it was first to 3. I don't know why it's like.
Oh. I don't know, I feel like I'm doing pretty good with Giovanna.
You do. Makes me angry, so you're doing good.
Fair.
Mankind knew
Wait one sec.
Society.
No worries.
Instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts.
I should be good before the match starts. I just wanted this point.
Yep, no worries. I'm smoking and drinking anyway, so.
Giovanna versus Leo. Duel 1.
Okay.
Let's rock.
Oh my god. Reach. Oh, okay. I don't know how you ended up on the other side of me, but sure. Okay.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Wait, you grabbed me instead of me grabbing you? What? That sucks. I think I made you a little angry. how bad you destroyed me right there.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't want you to hold back on me.
Man. Duel 1.
I learn better if I can actually, you know, get pressured and have to figure out a way out of it. You know what I mean? That's just how I learn. Aw, that sucks. I was mid-kick. Ooh, nice.
Whatever.
Woo.
Bullshit.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate Leo so much. Oh, okay. Good GG. Oh my god. Honestly, I hate Leo more than any other character in the game.
Why? No, dude, Soul Bad Guy's so much worse.
No, I can handle Souls more than I can handle Leo. This is a personal preference, obviously, but
Okay.
I can definitely handle Soul Bad Guy much more than I can handle Leo's.
Mankind knew that they cannot change. Duel 1. Let's rock.
I was blocking, but sure. Game apparently disagreed. What? That hit me in the air? Oh my god, seriously?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh, that thing has such range, forward and up. Holy crap.
I told you.
I was blocking, but sure. Sure, game. Sure.
Ah.
I don't know how people can just grab me while I'm putting pressure on them.
Well, that's a command grab.
Well, no, I meant the first grab. The first grab, I don't know how you even grabbed me on. So.
Because you were standing for a second.
Gotcha.
You want me to change my character?
Yeah. Well, no, you don't have to change your character. I wanted to go to Rum.
Alright.
Because like Geo is my secondary character, so. I still feel like I'm stronger on Raw. Well, actually, no. I think I have strengths on each of them, and weaknesses on each of them.
I think I can only play Leo.
What are you talking about? Your Potemkin's pretty fucking good. I mean, not compared to Heaven's Potemkin, but
Why does it say like I have 0, 0, 0, 0?
I don't know. It said that for me too.
Weird.
See, it's not even popping up my badges there. Here, let the cutscene go this time.
Okay.
Mankind needs society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts. Avid.
I'm gonna roll a joint.
Okay, go for it. Tell me if you need extra time.
I might.
All right,
just getting a little
I'm
bit.
just gonna back off then.
Ramlethal
Yeah,
versus Leo.
yeah, I need time. I'm sorry.
One.
No worries.
Let's rock.
We're here to practice, not play seriously. Or at least I'm not playing seriously anyway.
I mean, you should.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
playing
you're
seriously in the sense that I'm practicing my my moves and stuff and comboing, but I'm not playing seriously in the sense that I'm not taking the match seriously.
Okay.
Like
Ready?
it's not gonna bother me if I'm losing. You ready? Oh no, probably not.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, you are? Okay, I'm ready. Alright. What? Oh, okay. Ah. Oh, that's a... Oh, okay.
Fuck that shit.
Oh, crap. Yep, shit. Like that. Like you grab me, like, mid-attack. Ooh, nice. Nice cancel. I like it.
Yeah. That's the secret move, by the way, that power bomb.
Oh, gotcha.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
How do you do that? How do people grab so fast? Oh, that sucks. That was good. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. I mean... oh, okay. I thought you were just gonna wall break me, so I didn't even react. Wow! Okay. Just grab me on the other side of my dash.
Yeah.
Ugh.
When I get close to Ramley Hills, I give them no quarter.
Yeah, I noticed.
I play a lot of Ramley Hills, I'm sorry. I get tired of the ABA.
Gotcha.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
Alright, well.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
I didn't mean to hit that, to be honest. Oh, you actually hit me. What? Oof. I tried.
You did. You're not doing bad or anything.
Oh no, I didn't think I was doing bad. Just the last round, I felt I didn't do particularly well, but I mean, I appreciate you throwing me back into my sword, but still. Fuck. God damn, I don't appreciate it anymore. Wow, nice. That was good. That one was good. I'll give you that one for sure. That sucked. Well, that sucks for me, I should say.
Leo can get you with that jumping
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So
attack and knock you down in the corner. He can do like a 7-8 combo that just fucks you up.
Yeah, I've
And you
noticed.
just can't even block it. And like, if you do it right, it screen breaks at the end, but it's so hard to get the final attack.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Woo! the fast one. Good job.
Yeah.
Wins Duel 3. Let's rock.
Like that! I was mid-grab, and you just grabbed me instead. Like, what? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that kind of shit happens to me all the time.
Well, right there, you were not close enough to me. I moved towards you, then I grabbed. So if you were grabbing, you didn't do it close enough to me.
Okay, so how close to the player's hitbox do I need to be to get a successful grab? I know it depends on character, but...
Feels just really close.
Round
Like,
the
you're
bells?
almost, yeah, you got home, just like, here, we're not gonna fight, we're just gonna practice.
Sure, sure.
Alright, see, watch. Alright, for Leo, like, I can dash and throw. See?
Okay.
Okay, now, you can do that to me, too, but you gotta get right up on me.
Okay. So, like, if I do that... okay. I think what I'm
Yeah.
doing is I'm preempting the grab.
See, that's too
Yeah.
far away.
I think what I'm thinking, like, I think I'm thinking too logically, and I'm
Sorry.
I think I'm preempting the grab, thinking that it takes time for the grab to actually hit, but in reality, it just happens the second you hit the button.
Also, you have some invincibility from grab when you first get up. See, like, watch, like, I'll show you. Oh, well, I guess I can't do it because I'm Leo. Grab me. Now try to grab me right away. Again, right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it misses because you have a little bit of... You have 6 frames of invincibility when you get grabbed. Once you get that lane. So you have to wait for that if you want to try to re-grab them.
Gotcha.
So I know that when I'm getting up, so oftentimes you pressure me in the corner, I get up, you try to grab or do something, and then I grab you, and then reset the the situation.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know there was a grab or a stand-up invincibility frame.
Yeah, check this off. Watch this. Leo had the season move too. You never seen him though. Watch it.
Yeah.
That's a shield. And check this out. That thing.
Oh yeah. I hardly ever see those moves.
Yeah. I won? What?
We're
Oh,
that
yeah.
close in health, okay.
But yeah, like that's the idea behind throws. Also, things are like, you can't throw someone if they're using their guard, like that guard, the crazy guard.
Like that?
Yeah. You can't be thrown if you're using it.
No.
Build some meter, like run at me, or
Well, I mean, I have to move towards you.
run at me. Run, you have to run.
Oh, run?
Dash at me, yeah. You're going away from me. Stop going away from me. Just run at me, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize the run didn't stop
Yeah.
once you hit the model. My bad.
Yeah, see how you're building tension?
Yeah.
This builds a lot of tension to run at your opponent.
Well, I knew that. I just didn't know that. I didn't know that. Once you hit
could
the
just
enemy
keep
players,
running.
yeah, I didn't know you could just keep running. I thought you would stop at the enemy player's model.
No, but use your crazy guard now.
Okay.
Use
no.
it. Oh, what? I thought you could. What? Really?
Here, do it again. Yeah.
I guess not. What? I swear to God, I've grabbed people doing that, and they. Huh. Yeah, that was just the invincibility. Okay, I guess that does not save me. Sorry.
That's fine. I'm just getting grab practice.
See,
Wait.
you can stop a grab though.
With your own grab button.
Yeah, so you can take a grab. So grab me.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Ow.
I thought you were gonna grab me right away. Grab me. You're
Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but
Oh, it's not.
Okay, I get it. I think I get the idea.
Here, try to tech my grab. No, practice this.
Oh,
It's okay. I'm gonna grab you as soon as I'm close to you, okay?
okay.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, I did it the first time.
Do it to me.
Okay. Oh, my bad.
Oh, me too.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Alright, do it. See, there it is. Oh, whoops.
Ow.
Do it again. There, I did it. Do it again. I did it. Do it again. I did it. Do it again.
Oh.
I'm sorry you didn't grab.
I was trying to get far enough away from you before I can dash for it, but you know, whatever. Oh god, it's really fun to learn about all the tech in the game.
Yeah, you can also do. All right, let me teach you some stuff real quick. So don't
Sure.
worry about fighting me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so like, let me back away. All right, do like you know. Okay, so what you could do is all right. Like, okay, I'm gonna teach you about negative edge. All right, so like, say you want to do a move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say like Leo's move here, like this one, or wait, this.
Oh, hang on, give me 1 second. Trying to find my cord. My babe's just about to die, so yeah.
Huh. Never mind.
Okay, I'm ready.
I thought there was negative edges. Oh, sorry.
No worries. All right, what's up?
Okay, I was gonna say you could do something called negative edge, but I don't think you can. So. Yeah, I guess that doesn't really matter in this game. I don't know how you care in this game. I haven't talked about doing carrots, but the negative edge is something that I thought would work. Oh yeah, I was gonna say what there. I thought there was some other thing I could show you.
Time? Ooh.
Whatever. Oh, you want to just play now?
Sure.
Alright.
Yeesh. Jesus. How the? Okay, so is there any way to dodge the command grab there, or?
To jump in the air.
Fun.
Yeah, that's why it's rough, because like you don't know if I'm gonna do that or start trying to hit you.
Yeah.
it's the Leo problem.
That sucks. Ah, god damn it. Jesus Christ.
I've been playing against really mean people all day. I'm sorry.
I can be mean if I want to.
Oh, okay, bring it. What, you haven't been bringing it?
No, not necessarily. Nice grab.
What? Doesn't it?
Ah, shit, that sucks. Oh, I forgot how fucking high of a fucking hitbox that does. Nice.
I can be mean.
The difference is I'm not as good of a player as you.
Oh, well, I mean, you can get there.
Oh yeah, I'll get there. And like I said, I don't want you to go easy on me anyway, so. Thank you for the follow. Little paprika, I think that's how you say that. Ah, shit. Oh god. Yeah, that's bad news. Oh, get out of here. Oh, what? I hate you. Why did that not go away? Oh, boy. Oh, I miscalculated. Yeah, thank you so much for the follow. Okay. Oh, that grab. Oh my. Okay, hang on. Give me a second. I'm in the middle of a fight. I can't possibly read all that. Right this second. Oh, that was smart. Oh, god damn it.
Leo wins.
Oh, thank you, Matu. It does.
Mankind
It does help a bit.
not change society. So
Welcome
instead
to the channel.
on themselves. Duel 1.
Alright, bring it. Wow! You hit me. You outranged me right there. That was insane. Okay. God, I wish I had an arcade stick. Just so I could input commands a bit easier.
Get one, they're not that.
A couple $100? I don't have a couple $100. I have
Mine was a couple $100. You can buy one for like 60 bucks. I bought a collector's edition because I like.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah. You know how to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. At least you didn't get it perfect that time.
Nope.
Alright. Alright, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm going all out. All out.
All right.
Here we go.
All out, Robin.
All out, Robin. Against a character that I really hate fighting. Oh, you suck! You just taught me that trick and you use it against me. Oh, good. Good counter. I like it. That was nice.
Thank you. You're like, nope.
What? All right. Oh my god! Like I just can't move. Oh wow. Is that it? Yep, that was it.
I guess there's no limit to the amount of matches.
I guess not. Ah, come on. Oh god damn it. So there's no way to dodge that other than like jumping? Apparently? So okay. Okay.
It's a good move.
It is a good move. Doesn't mean it's not frustrating. What? I didn't even get that close to you.
See, you jumped. See, you jumped though, it worked, right?
Yeah, I did.
You just gotta get used to it.
What? Okay, that must have been the stand-up invulnerability, so... Nice. Nice. Slash.
Want me to switch characters?
No. I have to get better at fighting Leos at some point.
Duel 1. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock. Slap.
Wah wah.
You're still doing good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, I can beat people on the 9th floor, like, a lot with my Leo. Like, I almost got
Like-
to the 10th floor a few times today.
Like I'm putting up more of a fight on people in 9th floor?
Mankind knew that they could
Is that what you're saying?
society. Duel 1.
Well, no, I mean, you're probably, like, 8th floor right now. You're definitely above 7th floor.
Yeah, just...
You really gotta study your combos, that's your really thing.
Yeah, I know, I just haven't done that quite yet.
Yeah, that's... Oh, I don't know why that... fight.
Good fight. Oh, that grab. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Oh my god, I cannot beat you in a grab battle, like, at all. Ah, it's so frustrating.
Well, like, I try to deal with grabs a lot.
Yeah.
Man,
I mean, lately, especially, I've been dealing with grabs a lot, so it's just frustrating to deal with it. But I'm glad that you taught me sort of a way to deal with it. Just, I have to practice.
Yeah,
it.
that's why Heaven was being so mad the other night, because I need to jump a lot against Potemkin, which makes it really annoying. Because he can just zone Potemkin and jump the whole time. And he got really pissed, because it is really annoying, but like, what can we do?
Yeah, fair.
Being so rude, Robin. I'm just trying to be a lion.
Maybe I'm a lion, even though you hate that game. What else? What you're teaching me is that I should never get close to you, basically. Just saying. I won a round finally! Oh my god,
Yay.
finally! Yay!
Good job.
Ah.
意味はあったよ。でもわからないから続ける。
I really want to change my character. I've been playing Leo all fucking day. To be fair
Go
with
for it.
you.
Go for it. I am going to take a quick break after a couple more rounds here. So,
Who should I play?
who should you play?
The Gold Lewis?
Gold Lewis? Oh god, the Gold Lewis Dickinson. The Dick himself.
The Dick himself.
The Dick himself.
Yeah, I was watching some tourney action earlier, and I learned that like Weapon plays this game, and so does like Sonic Box and stuff.
Wait, who plays the game?
Weapon.
I don't know who that is. Sorry.
Pro Smash player.
Oh, gotcha.
mankind knew
The
that
pro Smash players themselves. Okay.
dual
1 sec.
Oh, sure.
So I was trying
You're
to split.
you're gonna get on my nerves with Eno? Got it.
Alright.
Okay. Ah! Alright, wait. Wait. Ah! Wait. What? Okay. What?
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Ooh, nice grab. But oh, nice. Ooh, nice grab. What? I have to learn how y'all get like grabs so easily. Like I really have to fucking learn that. Oh, close. That's a close fight. Ugh.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Nice. That's a good opening. I like it. Are you kidding me? Every single time. Every single time I go for the grab, you get the grab first. I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
That was weird. At the end there, I shot that thing out of my hat, but I pressed high slash. I didn't press punch at all. That's how you shoot that thing. That was weird.
I can't speak to that because I wasn't on your screen, so.
Duel.
No, I know what I pressed.
Let's rock.
あなたはしたい触れもっと上手触れあなたはしたいあら気が利いてる
Ah!
Duel 2. Perfect. Duel 3. Let's rock. Slap.
意味はあったよでもわからないから続ける
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. Heaven or hell. Duel 1. Let's rock.
死はきれいあなたはしたい死はきれいあなたはしたい
Serious?
Duel 2. Let's rock.
She has an air throw that's awesome.
Yeah, she does apparently.
What?
Wow, that's okay. I didn't know that could happen.
Yeah, I have no clue what just happened.
Yeah, me neither.
like when you break me through the wall, like I'm stuck on the wall for a hot minute. So like you should like do your most damaging move. So like when you get me up against the wall, you should do that thing that slams both the swords. It'll do the most damage rather than
What's
just
that?
punch again. Yeah, because like when you hit someone up against the wall, they're on the wall for like 4 seconds. You have plenty of time to stop for a second and do that move.
I
Like,
had
just
actually, on a side note, I had no idea this move could be performed on the ground. I thought it had to be in the air.
well, kinda. She jumps. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I just don't feel like dodging the goddamn family mix up anymore. So I'm gonna watch you play, I guess.
You just want to watch me play?
Yeah, I mean, I'll play different. I don't really like. I don't know. I'm so tired of dodging ABA. I fought.
I
so
mean,
many
I
random things
don't.
today.
Well, I mean, tonight I'm relying on ABA.
Like,
ABA.
well, no. You have to. It's her bread and butter combo. It's just like after I fought like 13 to 20 of them today, I'm just over it. Like it's just like I know I'm doing a lot with Leo and killing things, but like I have to hit a lot of buttons to make all those combos. It's
Sure.
just- And it's just like when I see the Ramlethal that like punishes me so hard with 3 moves, it just hurts.
Yeah.
And my arms hurt,
I mean-
to be honest with you. That's the biggest reason.
I mean that's fair. I appreciate you being honest with me. But I'm gonna take a quick break. So like, if you'd like to do something that I can spectate, like I'd like to show my stream. If not, I'll just sit in the menu until I'm back.
Yeah, how would that work?
I don't know.
Like can we join the same floor? Does that work? Are we both on the same floor, West Coast?
I mean, I can join a floor higher. So
Okay. Player match. Wait, no, not player match. That's
yeah,
wrong.
online match. I can
Oh,
join whatever floor numbers are not available.
there's server maintenance.
Oh, that's
Oh.
not fun.
That's very not fun. How long is server maintenance? It can't be too long. Well, maybe just.
Maybe for a fighting game, like probably not too long, but
Oh. Wait, now it's working? Oh no, now it didn't work. Never mind. Oh shit. Oh, sorry.
okay, my server. Server maintenance. Okay. Oh, that
yeah.
sucks.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know this could happen here. Server. It'll last for 1 hour.
And when did that start? 2
Uh,
o'clock my time? 1 o'clock your time?
I think so.
Damn.
I guess we could only play in a player match right now.
Gotcha. And player matches don't include AIs, right?
Wait, maybe we came in player match. Maybe we just got in before it broke, and then we were able. That's why, like, it wouldn't let us. That's why it just let us keep rematching over and over. Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Here, let me try to go to a player match. If it says like no, you can't do it with the server. Yeah. We just got into the thing. The last minute, because it's actually from 12:30 to 1:30, so I think it's actually only 5 more minutes.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that is.
God damn it. I'll wait.
They let us play. They just let us keep playing. They're like, well, if you're in, you just ride, I guess.
Yeah, you just ride. Like,
Just ride.
who gives a shit about, like, whatever, like, if you're in our server and your shit breaks, like, fuck you, I guess.
Yeah. That's why my name disappeared, and it was like 000.
Yeah, same with me. After our first match where we saw that happen, both of our names were like that, so.
Shit, our accounts have been affected by the Nether Fae.
The Nether Fae.
Yeah, we're dead. Okay, well, why don't you go take your break since we gotta wait 5 minutes, I guess, at least.
Okay, yeah, I'll be back. ASAP.
Yeah, sorry I can't have some for your stream.
That's okay. Going for a bio. Bio. Okay. there, Oz? Oz?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. Did you want to play more Cell or no?
To be honest with you, my hand kind of hurts.
That's fair.
Yeah, I put in about, Jesus Christ, I don't know, about a good 10 hours in the game today, 12 hours.
No worries.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Is the game working again?
Not sure. Just got back from my break, so I might cover something political. I don't know.
Why you biting?
By the way,
Oh, Ridley bit me.
why'd he bite you?
Oh, he's just biting sometimes. He was like rubbing his face on my leg a bunch and then like nibbled on my leg.
He's just biting you.
Yes.
The bitey.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
Because, like you said last time, I'm the one that kind of taught him to bite.
Oh, it's okay.
I was trying to teach him to play, not bite, but I guess that's
It's
one
all
and the
good.
same.
No worries. My freaking arms are actually.
I gotcha. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, like I mean, you know, I've been playing for a long time. It's understandable.
Of course.
I didn't realize how bad fatigue would get to me because, like, the past like few I played, I was like, oh god, like why are my inputs so bad? It's because my arms don't want to move better because they're tired.
I gotcha. Let's see here. Let's see.
Touch cat.
Let's see. For me, is it working now? Says server maintenance. However, if I reset the game, it would probably fix itself. But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Guilty Gear Strive.
Quickly.
let's see here. The question is, do I want to play more Guilty Gear, or do I want to do something else?
I want to do something else.
Yeah, like I said, do I want to do something political? Probably. Political hour with Kitnell, you know?
For sure. There was a new internet comment etiquette.
Yes, I saw.
So funny.
Let me search YouTube's real quick. Let's see if there's anything I want to comment on.
Well, I think I'm gonna go lay down.
Okay, go for it. Take care of yourself, hon.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, yep, I'll talk to you tomorrow or, the next day or so.
Well, later on today.
Yep, I work today, same time, so like 5 p.m. my time, so.
I'll try to save more of my energy for playing with you.
Sure.
Hey. Hey, night night.
Hey, nay, nay. Nee,
What are
nee.
you assuming this way?
Give me a sec. Alright, let's see here. We have, well, I mean, I guess, depending on what y'all want to see, I could always play some more games, but I'd rather talk about something. But I'm trying to think of what to talk about. There's so many things. Ooh, I guess we could do something like Super Straight. Super Straight would be fun. Super Straight debate. This is good enough. Here, we can do this. So, hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Window capture. There we go. Why? There we go. Mozilla. Nope. Wait, this is Mozilla, right? Okay. Oh, there we go. What's going on here? Like, this is weird. Oh, there we go. For some reason, it wants to work all of a sudden. Okay, window capture. Diablo 2. Why is that in here? Chat box. Probably belongs up here. Okay, here we go. here we go. We're gonna check out this debate and see what people have to say about super straight. Actually, I actually want to see this very specific one with T-Jump. No. Oh, wait. Super straight debate. T-Jump versus Fosh. Wait. T-Jump had a debate with Fosh about this? Apparently I've watched some of this. Maybe it auto-played while I was sleeping. I'm actually really curious. Alright.
Mind you, folks, are
Alright, as usual, we will not go into the Q&A, but we're just interested in the debate itself. So let's see what happens. Oh, and I guess I should change my settings here so that we can actually view everyone's opinions. Give me just a moment. Okay, so this is creator dashboard. And stream manager. And stream info. Foosh. Foosh slash T-Jump. Alright, that's a good enough title, I guess. Just chatting. There we go. Oh, what? Wait, why? Why was that a thing? Just chatting. Glad I fucking saved this. Done. Alright, there's that one. And then let's go over to YouTube, because I'm still getting used to this. Professional streamer, by the way. I love how my own stream pops up in the recommended channels. Customize channel. That should be where it is. Dashboard. Content. Okay, I don't see where to change this one specifically. I feel like I had the same issue last night. Okay, do you want YouTube can wait? YouTube can wait, but at least on Twitch we are consistent. Creator dashboard. Let's go back to my channel. Can wait. YouTube can wait, but at least I'll pop out chat and pop out chat. Okay, let's get into it. We're gonna skip the music, because, yeah.
starting right now.
All right, let's go,
With
James.
Tom Jump's
It's
opening
Bosch and
statement
T-Jump.
defending the super straight position. Tom, thanks for being here. The floor is all yours.
Let's see what we think.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Bosch, for joining. I appreciate the opportunity to have the conversation as always. So I think one of the problems with the woke SJW feminist ideology is that they don't differentiate
Woke
between
feminist
rational criticism and
ideology.
hate, calling anyone who criticizes their position racist, transphobic, sexist, misogynist, etc. These morally charged terms are essentially calling someone evil or immoral, and that there's something wrong with the character of the person, which is why they get just ignored. This is used as a strategy to dismiss any kind of rational criticism, and to say that any position that has these qualities of being transphobic has no rational use whatsoever, which is clearly false. For example, in the super straight label is a perfect example of this. The point of the super straight label, its valid non-transphobic point, is an internal criticism of the woke ideology's tendency to accept some psychological identities but not accept other psychological identities. It has nothing to do with transphobia. That just
So I'm really curious in where this is an example where so my understanding so far is that yes, we generally tend to in the community tend to accept other identities, but I'm trying to think of a situation other than super straight, which was obviously a meme and transphobic in nature, where the community has done this. Maybe T-Jump can elaborate, but you know, we can talk about that if it does actually come up, and I do a little research on that as well. So let's see what he has to say.
happens to be the one thing that some people just aren't attracted to the idea of being in a relationship with a trans person. It isn't about targeting trans people, because people who typically don't like the
I mean, that's just false. The person that created that the super straight meme is clearly transphobic, and it's pretty obvious within the meme itself. But let's go on.
SJW community, or like trans people in general, don't adopt identities in the first place. So this super straight identity was never meant as something legitimate that people were going to accept, and that the woke community was going to accept, and then everyone was going to be happy and just accept anyone who was identified in super straight and anything they said. No, the whole point here was to show the hypocrisy of the woke community, because they won't accept this identity, even though it is the genuine.
No, the point of this thing was to the original point was to show like someone was transphobic and didn't have like a good reason for excluding trans people within their like sexual preferences. Like, there's good reasons to exclude people without being transphobic. Don't get me wrong, but that's not what their purpose was.
True psychological state of these people. It's not meant to single out trans people and to treat them any differently. It's meant to show the hypocrisy of the trans community, because they won't accept the genuine identities of certain groups, the groups who they don't think are worthy of accepting.
You're just too much of an anti-SJW that you just don't understand the origins of what happened.
So I think that because super straight has a legitimate use, which is not transphobic, it is inappropriate to call it transphobic. You can call certain people who use it in a racist manner or a transphobic manner transphobic, but you can't call the concept itself transphobic. Saying that it originated from a transphobic person or a transphobic goal is irrelevant. It's a genetic fallacy. The fact that some...
No, that's not a genetic fallacy. I'm sorry, T-Jump, you're just wrong there. Like, if there are some people out there who don't use this in a transphobic way and actually have good reasons for why they don't want to date or have sex with a trans person, that's fine. But the origins of this meme, I'm going to keep calling it a meme because that's what it is. The origins of it is transphobic. That's like saying that like Christianity isn't like oh god, what's a good analogy? I'm sorry, I'm blanking. It's like saying that like Christianity isn't anti-slavery, but the origins of Christianity do include slavery. Like it just is what it is. Unfortunately, in this position and in the super straight position. So like this is ridiculous.
like if a Nazi invented some concept, and in that
No, a Nazi. A Nazi, I can already see where he's going. So a Nazi invented some concept which is correct / maybe incorrect, but if we accept the correct position that everyone who accepts that is a Nazi, that's not the same thing, because this meme was created as an anti-trans, like, bigoted, like, position. The idea itself was based off of bigotry, not the other way around. Not that just some bigot had a bad idea, or a good idea, sorry, excuse me. Not some bigot had a good idea, but, like, god damn it. Y'all know what I'm saying.
concept was something valuable that other people in society latched onto and said, oh, this was actually a really good argument. The fact that he's a Nazi doesn't mean that anyone who uses the argument is also a Nazi. It's a hasty generalization fallacy. So because Super Straight does have a legitimate use as a critique of the woke community's hypocrisy, it is not intrinsically in any way transphobic, even though some people who use it may use it in a transphobic manner, and I will conclude there.
Thank you very much, Tom, for that opening statement. We'll kick it over to Vosh for his opening statement. Want to let you know, folks, if it's your first time here at Modern Day Debate, we are a neutral platform hosting debates on science, religion, and politics. And we want to let you know, we hope you feel welcome no matter what walk of life you're from. And so with that, thanks, Vosh, for being with us as well. The floor is all yours for your opening.
Thank you. I feel very welcome. Okay, well, I'm glad that we immediately dropped the idea that this was some kind of like legitimate sexuality that we're trying to recognize, and that it's in some way equivocable to being straight or pan or bi, because I don't think anyone meaningfully used it in that way. And people who argue that it is being used in that way are probably arguing in bad faith. So your argument is that it exists as some kind of critique of a hypocrisy on the part of the quote unquote woke community. Unfortunately, I think you failed to describe and substantiate that accusation of hypocrisy. If you're arguing
I agree with
that it is hypocritical for a group of people to say that it's illegitimate to not be attracted to trans people, and that this mistake on their part is in some way comparable to a mistake of not recognizing a sexual identity, this to me seems like a really, really big reach. And there is transphobia rooted pretty much directly into the nature of this critique as you describe it.
Yes, there is.
A couple of points. First of all, Super Straight absolutely targets trans people. Let's not pretend otherwise. Even if we're to ignore the history and the communities around it, I mean, the people making the critiques matter, obviously. It contextualizes the way in which those critiques are made. The term Super Straight, like, okay, so you're straight if you like trans people. You know, say you're a cis guy and you like, you know, women, and you like trans women, and that's straight. But then if you don't like the trans women, only the cis women, that's super straight, as though it's more straight to not be attracted to the trans women, and thus logically less straight to also be attracted to the trans women. I mean, the premise there is pretty clear. It's not like I don't think that's a huge reach. The implication there is pretty clearly like, oh, no, hold on, I'm not just straight, okay? I don't like trans women, all right? I only like real women. I'm super straight. That's kind of how it is. I just don't see that.
So, on this particular point, like, I see what Vosh is trying to say. I would probably word it a bit differently, but, I mean, there's super, pardon the pun, I guess, super not transphobic ways to go about your sexuality. And excluding trans women from, or trans men in that matter as well, because trans men are often forgotten in these conversations. But, like, you can exclude trans women in a non-transphobic way. You literally can. It's super easy. You just have to tell whichever sexual or romantic partner that you're into that, hey, this is the, if we're going to get, like, physical, these are the certain genitals that I'm expecting. If you don't have these, then I'm sorry, this isn't going to work out. And that completely excludes the transphobic nature of the argument. Like, completely. Like, it's that easy. I know that this may be hard for like society to move into understanding, but like this is the way it has to go, basically, because otherwise you're just being transphobic. Anyway.
Hypocrisy here. There's this meme that trans people are like screaming and shouting, everyone has to be attracted to us, everyone has to want to date us, etc., etc. I think we're referring to an incredible minority of the broader trans community. The vast majority of trans people, let me tell you, do not want to be shacked up with somebody with whom they have to fight for the legitimacy of their identity. I just don't think there are that many woke progressives screaming that if you're straight, then you should want to have sex with every trans woman. I don't think that's happening that much.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
not
to
happening.
go ahead and say, like, in response to these, and to the extent that they do it,
Just as a note, as part of the trans community, yeah, that doesn't happen. Like no one wants to be a part of a relationship that the other person is not into. So
exist. It's very obnoxious. To the extent that this minority of a minority exists, I will now play up this, like, to your admission, fake sexuality that implies trans women aren't like real women to highlight a hypocrisy. I don't think it's a broader community hypocrisy. I just think we're talking about bad behavior in a really, really, really small, very marginal portion of the trans community. So if your argument is, I shouldn't have to be attracted to trans people, okay, you can be attracted to whoever you want to be attracted to. I don't think people are out there like trying to press people's boundaries on that. People don't want to be in relationships with people. They have to argue.
And since I'm thinking about it, just for contextualization, T-Jump is apparently some kind of a philosopher, and Vosh is like a sociology major. So
you into being attracted to them. The only thing I'd argue is, trans women are women and trans men are men, I guess, and that you should, as with all things, be fairly open-minded, because it's entirely possible that the types of people you'll be interested in lie outside whatever boundaries you may have set in your head. It's only because I was open-minded about my interest that I discovered I was bisexual or pan or whatever. And, that's me, and maybe that's not the case for everyone, but it never hurts to be open-minded. So I guess in summary, I really don't think there's a hypocrisy here, and I don't think that an admittedly transphobic meme is a good way of addressing that hypocrisy. So that's my point.
You got it. Thanks very much, Vosh. And we are going to jump into the open dialogue.
I agree.
So,
mostly.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Want to let you know, folks, a couple of things. One is open dialogue is free-flowing. However, if it gets too rowdy, I'll jump in and restrain it to 3-minute intervals back and forth. And also want to let you know, folks, we have many juicy upcoming debates, and so don't forget to hit that subscribe button for many.
By the way, just for anyone who might be interested, like, I like Vosh, and I also like T-Jump. I think T-Jump is a really smart guy. However, there are plenty of things that I disagree with both of them on. I'd like to throw that out there so that y'all don't think I'm biased.
Any of those juicy debates, including this Saturday as T-Jump and Nathan Thompson collide for the first time. So with that, the floor is all yours, gentlemen. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, so the hypocrisy is that the woke community, like, again, you're right, it's a very small minority of people who actually think that you should want to be in a relationship with a trans person. That's not the point here. The point here is that the much larger thing that does happen is the woke community wants you to accept their identities, their preferred identities, but doesn't want to accept identities they don't accept. That's the hypocrisy.
No, that's not the hypocrisy. There's no hypocrisy for calling out like an identity that's literally meant to call out trans people and to like delegitimize them.
And this is tech.
And yes, you I guess you can technically be super straight, but like why call it that? And why does it have like transphobic origins when you can just say that I just don't prefer certain genitals?
Technically sort of a genuine identity. There are a certain group of people who genuinely don't want to date trans people. So that is a genuine identity, even though people who do that don't actually accept identities. So it should be respected in the same sense as the other ones, because they are honestly representing what they feel and believe. And the hypocrisy is, of course, the fact that the woke community won't accept their feelings, where they will try to force them to accept other people's feelings, not to date them, but just in general their identity, accepting the identity
Isn't this
itself.
just the attack helicopter meme then? You believe in like tri-genders, but you won't accept my helicopter gender. Isn't this just that over again, but like
Yes,
6 years later?
That's why it's so popular, is because it has the exact
But it was
same
really
connotations.
stupid back then too.
Yeah, I agree with Fosh. It's really stupid back then, as it is stupid right now. Well, I haven't heard super straight for like a couple months now, but yeah, it's just as stupid. There's many more like more legitimate ways to like go after, or not even go after, but like to exclude yourself from the transgender side of things if you want to do that in terms of a sexual relationship. Like this is literally just a glorified attack helicopter joke.
Does
Your
it-
opinion of it being stupid doesn't make it transphobic.
So
the fact that
it
you
pos-
don't like the criticism doesn't make it a not legitimate criticism.
So I'll substantiate. So first of all, what you're positing is the idea that all identities are equally legitimate, which I don't think anyone has ever argued for. And you just admitted that this identity
Yes, not all identities are equally valid.
was a meme. By your own admission, the identity, this super straight thing, is deserving of less legitimacy than, say, heterosexuality or homosexuality. You already acknowledged that in the opening statement that you
Not
made.
exactly, no. So, for example, if the people who didn't want to date trans people did want to accept identities as a category, then they could actually adopt this as a true, genuine identity because it is truly what they feel. They obviously don't. They don't care about identities. They think they're a joke. And so they adopted this as a joke to show the hypocrisy in the woke community.
You can't.
What? Wait. So like, if they're just T-jump, like if they're, I'm sorry. Like, are you being serious? Like, are you actually trying to push for like legitimate like philosophy and, like I'm assuming you're a humanist, possibly. I don't know, like me. But like serious, like you're like defending something that may be a joke, but may also be like how people legitimately feel. Like, aren't there like better, healthier ways to like address like these things? Like, you have to go through a transphobic like meme to get your point across. Like, no, there's way better ways to get across your idea, unless you're just like wanting to appease like some edgelords in like the incel and conservative like movement. Like, come on.
But you can't play both sides in this. You can't say, oh, well, it's not really a serious identity, so I want it to be examined as a critique. And then when it's critiqued as a critique, you're saying, well, actually, no, it basically is a serious identity. It's just a matter of how seriously you want to take it.
Wait,
You can't oscillate between those two positions. It
I'm not
has to
under-
be one or the other.
I'm not understanding your position here. So I can do an internal critique of like Christianity and say, if God exists, God's a bastard because he killed lots of babies. But I don't believe God exists. So I can say, I can present an idea and say, by your standards, this should be accepted, even though I don't think it should be accepted. So
So you're saying that the standards of trans people or woke community is that every sexuality should be accepted anytime a person says something is a sexuality?
I think that any genuine position that you actually feel because of who you are should be accepted. Yes.
But
No, that's as far as I'm aware. Like, no one within the gay, lesbian, trans, LGBTQ community, like in general, just like that's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's why the helicopter joke is like not funny. And it was never funny because like there are limits in our general understanding, and then we also have scientific backup for like how we think and feel. Like, I don't know, like this sorry, T-Jump, this is a very bad point.
I've never heard a woke person say that. What if a person came up with the term giga straight and it's that they're only attracted to white people or white people of the opposite sex? If somebody came out with a term like that, I would join the rest of the quote woke community in saying, in addition to that being pretty racist, I also don't think that's legitimate identity. I think you're just kind of racist and you're just trying to find a way to use our terminology to get away with it. The argument isn't that everything that one could potentially call a sexuality is legitimate. We're just trying to give names and concepts and respect to legitimate, elements of human identity.
So
If
what
you're
makes
not
it
attracted
legitimate?
to
Why,
trans
why
people,
would
then
why would
just if you're not attracted to trans people, and I would be interested, I guess, in examining the extent to which this is the case or the categories by which you define trans people. But if you're not, that's fine. But you don't need to create a whole new sexuality, one that you admit is tenuously serious, because you're not attracted to like a specific group. Because in this case, it's pretty transphobic, and that's really what it's being criticized for
how is
being
that any different
transphobic.
from not being attracted to women or not being attracted to men, not being attracted to the trans group?
So by suggesting that not being attracted to trans people and not being attracted
Not gonna lie, on T-Jump's side, like, that's a really good question.
to women are similar, you're kind of implying that trans women aren't women. You recognize that, right?
There's definitely a difference between the two biologically. So it's like a psychological
not.
state in
There's a difference
some
between
persons
trans
that-
women
no,
and cis women, but trans women are in the group woman. So this is what I mean exactly.
No,
You
again,
can't
so
argue the identity
group-
is not
the group
transphobic,
here
but
is
then
applied by the person. So as a person, someone can categorize women as biological women, and that's what they mean by women. And so trans people would not be in that category.
and that would be
by
a
their
transphobic
definition.
description, which is why it's
No,
criticized for being
It's not
transphobic.
Oh, so okay, so I see where T-Jump is going there. So basically, just like trans women just aren't women in the category that most of society would consider like a woman, quote unquote. So I guess like by implication, like super straight just means that I'm just straight and I just don't like trans women. That's why it's transphobic. Like it's super simple. Like if you meet someone, you're gonna hook up. Just before or after you see their genitals, just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not into that kind of thing," and then just move on. Like it's that simple. Like holy fuck.
Transphobic, it's quite accurate. Like they can define it that way.
Wait, hold on.
How is that
Wait, hold on.
denigrating to them?
Biologists don't use the term biological woman. So
I don't care
scientific
what-
accuracy
care.
isn't what you should be deferring
Bosch
to
is
here.
right.
If your argument is that the term you use to describe women doesn't include trans women, then yeah, it's transphobic.
How is that transphobic? It's just a categorization.
I-
It doesn't say
So
anyone is
wait,
more
hold
or
on. Wait.
less.
I can't tell if you're being serious right now.
No, I'm completely
So
serious right now. So
the
I can
argument-
label
The
trans
argument
women
that
because
trans women aren't women is like the central argument over whether or not
okay,
X
how
or
is
Y
it
is transphobic.
transphobic?
Are you asking me
Yes.
why?
It's transphobic because you're excluding a specific group of people because of their genitals and saying that they're not actually women. That's why it's transphobic. You don't have to come up with the term super straight, which has transphobic origins, to actually say that, hey, I'm not into this particular type of genitals.
Why it's
Literally asking
transphobic
you,
to
why
say
is
trans
it
women aren't women?
transphobic to say that I think women are biological determined and not psychologically determined?
Okay. T-Jump, that's not how we categorize things. Or at least that's not how I think we should categorize things, and I have some pretty good reasons for it. However, I am doing a critique of this particular debate, not my own personal feelings, but yes, like if you want to categorize something as what's a better way to say this? Society doesn't live like in a vacuum, right? We have biology and we also have sociology. There's a reason that we have these sciences. All of these things like coexist with each other. The reason why saying that you're super straight is fucking transphobic is because it has a biological and sociological implication with them. If you just want to go with like a biological versus social definitions, then yeah, I guess we can just go with that, but that's not the way like even I work, or just like the average person who is like oblivious to these things work. Like, it's just not that. If T-Jump wants to go like super hyper like reduction on it, like, sure, but let's see what else they have to say.
The central social conceit of trans people and of political movements surrounding them is arguing that they are the gender they identify as. And determining that is not the case, or saying that that is not the case, is considered transphobic for the same reason that, like, 17th century phrenologists tried to argue that black people weren't the same type of human as white people were. Now, you can adopt a 17th century phrenologist definition if you want to, and I also have the right to call you racist for it. So that would be kind of the line.
You didn't answer
sand,
the question. So to say it's transphobic, you need to show that saying one is more or less in some sense. Just saying I factually disagree with how you define woman and I think this is the correct way to define woman doesn't imply anyone's more or less. It's just saying I disagree with your definition. That's not transphobic to disagree. That's the problem with the
So
woke
do you
community.
think
I mean, you could do the same with like what Vosh just said. Like, you could do the exact same thing with like black or white people. Like, just saying that like black or white people are different and we should exclude them from certain things within society. Yeah, I would say that was racist. I would say that was racist 100%. But to say that categorizing them as different things, that's fine, but we're not just talking about like science, we're talking about like how the rules are within society, if that makes sense. Like, yes, I would say if we were going to categorize white and black people within society as different things, I would say that's racist.
definition of human that discluded black people would be a racist definition?
Yep, and Vosh is getting right to that, of course.
It depends. It can be and it may not be.
It may, so wait, hold on. You're arguing that there are ways in which you could define human that don't include black people and that wouldn't be racist.
Maybe if you had like some scientific evidence, if you literally thought
How do you
some massive
scientifically
added-
decide
this is a hypothetical.
the category of
So-
human?
So again, this is hypothetical. Like if someone injected alien DNA into African Americans, then they wouldn't be as human as other races. So yes,
No,
you can
I
come
mean,
up with a
right.
definition.
So
that
let's say right now you had a scientist who said, "Oh yeah, okay, there are two
interested
species
where
of
this
Homo sapiens on
hypothetical
Earth.
is
Okay,
going.
there are humans, and then there are black people." And
So
my
wait,
definition.
wait, you're going off on a
Please
tangent.
allow me to finish the hypothetical. And my definition of human has you have to have below a certain melanin count. Okay. Now, do you think that'd be a racist definition? Because it's scientifically accurate. You can determine the
No.
amount of melanin in the
So
skin.
again, that's irrelevant to the question. You asked, can you come up with a definition of human that would show one group was not the same? And yes, the obvious answer is yes. If they had DNA, which is the qualification of one of the features that
But
makes someone
what
human,
a
was
human
different.
is a social construct.
No, it's not.
We arrived at that by determining.
No, I don't care about your social construct ideology. It's not.
Wait,
It is
wait,
biological fact.
T-Jump.
Wait. You don't care about the, like, social construct ideology? Like, okay. Like, I mean, like, so me and my rats in the other room, which I love them. Oh my god, I love them. We share so much DNA with each other. But we have descriptors which we do identify as being separate from each other, right? Obviously, I'm like 5'5", 100 something pounds, and the rats are like, I don't know, like half a foot long, tail to nose, like these are social constructs that we created to describe things, like, and we share mostly the same DNA. Like, I don't understand this point from T-Jump. Like, hang on.
T-Jump. That's not an ideology. You can ask a scientist if you want to. The way in which we
Are
define
humans
species.
an empirical fact outside of any social construct? Yes, they are a species.
The
that is
category.
Yeah, we're a category that we created to describe things. Vosh is completely right here.
Story of humanity doesn't exist outside of our socially
No, it
constructed
does.
category.
It definitely does.
Wait, T-Jump. There's only so many layers of illiteracy that I can cut through at a moment. Let's just focus on social constructs for a second. Now, what a woman is, what woman means, is something that we kind of arrived at. We didn't understand what woman was like 300,000 years ago. How we described what a woman is has changed over time. Likewise, our understanding of speciesation has changed over time. We describe these things in relation to how much utility they provide us. Now, it's possible to arrive at a
No. Like, wait, he just said no, right? Like, hang on.
things in relation to how much utility they provide us. Now, it's possible to
Wait, no? Why no? That's the question I want to ask T-Jump. Like, yes, we do have categorizations of what we put things into. However, I mean, what Vosh is saying is just a fact. Like we categorize things based off of utility and significance that we find them in. Like, that's just a fact.
arrive at a definition of humanity that doesn't include black people, because you can arrive at a definition of anything as long as you're willing to change the definition.
No.
So would you think that's racist to be
No,
like,
again,
there
so
are humans?
everything
then
you're
black
saying
people?
is just completely incoherent here. You're just not understanding how reality works. So science defines terms based off its correspondence to reality. We care about the reality thing, not the made-up names thing. So you're too focused on the made-up names thing, which just doesn't matter. So
How
when
do you
you're trying to
determine
define,
species?
Wait, wait, what do you mean it doesn't matter? Wait, so like, I know y'all can't like fucking see this, so let me so I'm holding my phone. So all of a sudden, like, can I just call this like a piece of bread? Like, it's a piece of bread. I can just eat it? No, we describe it based on its properties, what it can do, what it's made out of, we describe these things based off of properties that we've found that they have and the way that we've described them. It's exactly as Vosh has said. Like no, T-Jump, you're just wrong. You're just wrong in this particular instance.
What determines whether or not two things are of the same species?
lots of different criteria.
What criteria, and how do we arrive at those criteria?
We make our best guess through induction to try and describe what best describes reality.
Our best guess through induction to
Yes.
describe reality. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
what processes?
That's a social construction. It's a social construction. It just is, T-Jump.
methods would you use to arrive at that conclusion?
Science.
Okay, like let's say you,
Yes, science is also a social construction. It's the best one that we have to describe the reality that we live in, but it's still a social construction. Like, holy fuck. God, I'm getting fucking angry already.
of two
This
species
isn't
of squirrel.
complicated. Like I don't want to go into a
This is
debate about how
extremely
social
simple.
constructs.
I agree. Wait, no, but you're, wait,
don't,
the
why are you interrupting me?
ambiguity
Stop,
of your
stop
answer
interrupting me and let me
suggests-
finish.
Okay,
So
go.
I don't care about your deluded perception on social constructionism. It's false. There are factually different species. They factually exist. It is a fact of reality.
You're
We
like
put
centuries
labels. Wait,
behind.
stop interrupting. Stop interrupting. We put labels on them to try to describe them to the best of our abilities. They do exist. So that's just, you don't get to debate this. This is a fact. If you deny it, you're denying a difference. From
What's a
elephants and
chair?
bats. Again, so
That's a
don't-
good
don't interrupt.
question from Vosh.
So
Okay, but answer
there are
that.
factually things.
You're done.
Chairs are not fact. Chairs are not literal things that exist as a category independent of human minds. Species are. Species exist independent
How?
of human minds. Chairs don't.
No.
Because they're determined by biology and things that have nothing to do with humans.
But
Chairs
I've
are
spoken to
determined by humans.
biologists, and they acknowledge that there
They
is
don't
a
care.
social element.
don't-
Wait,
I don't
wait, hold
care.
on. Wait, I know you don't care because you don't know anything what you're talking
No,
about.
I know more
so
than you on the
the
topic.
process of
No, you don't,
speciesization
T-Jump.
is determined by a set of subjective categories that we've arrived at. You can ask any biologist this. This isn't secret social
You not
justice
understanding
info.
biology isn't my problem.
Have you read
Yes,
Charles
wait,
Darwin?
Yes, wait. So we come up with labels to describe things that exist independent
we
of
come
our
up with
labels. We make them up.
Yes.
Okay. So
Social
let's say we have two
construction.
squirrels that are very genetically similar. How do
This
we
is not the
determine
topic
whether
of
or
the
not
debate.
wait, how do we determine whether or not they're the same species of squirrel or different species of squirrel?
We come up with a methodology that describes species and try to accurately label them.
Okay, I agree. Now, is that methodology in any way socially constructed?
Of course, the methodology. All methodologies are socially constructed.
Yep.
So the methodology by which we determine whether or not two things are of different species is socially constructed.
Yes, the species themselves are not.
Okay.
The way we
So-
determine
but-
between a
wait.
proton and a neutron is a method called science, which is
Wait,
socially
hold on.
constructed. The proton and the neutron are not socially
But
constructed.
species don't. So when you say the method by which we distinguish between species is socially constructed, that determines the species. There's not like two different types of species, the ones we agree upon and the ones that already exist. There are only the differences
I
we
don't
agree
want to
upon
have to
existing.
explain basic philosophy to you. This is
Wait.
the difference.
Basic philosophy, like, okay, like just saying that like hurts my brain because like philosophy is not like basic or like easily understandable by like even the fucking general public. Like, yes, like I understand that like your political opponent, your fucking debate opponent is Vosh, but like these things are complicated, and saying that they just fucking exist the way they are, like, is fucking dumb. God, this fucking debate is giving me a goddamn headache. Okay.
Hold on.
Between epistemology
T-Jump.
and ontology.
No, hold on. Your understanding of philosophy here is literally millennia out of date. The idea
it's
that
not.
socialization
Vaush,
determines
you're
our
so ignorant on this.
categorization of the world.
Vaush, epistemology and
sec.
ontology. What
Gentlemen.
epistemology is the theory of knowledge, how we learn things. Ontology is the
One-
facts of the matter, independent of how we know things.
We can keep
Our
talking
epistemology.
about one thing. We can keep going there, but we are like, unless we.
Yes, I mean things exist as they are, independent of how we know that they are. That's a fact. However, we're not just a fact-based species. Yes, yet. Sorry. So we have to also understand these things as a social species as well. So these things are also important. Like, they just are, because we're not like fact-based machines like a computer.
Off
quickly
topic,
tie
yes.
it
No,
back
it's
to the
still
topic. It
James.
is-
I would love to reel back to the thing. The problem is the statement that saying trans women aren't women isn't transphobic because definitions are objective is a statement so far removed from reality that you have to go all the way back to epistemology before you can even begin to correct how many ways that's incorrect.
No. Definitions aren't objective, but if the definition refers to something objective, then that's the thing they're talking about. So if they make a definition that is meant to refer to an objective feature of the world,
How do
then
you
they're
know
not
what an objective feature of the world is?
science.
How do you how do you arrive at what an objective? Okay, so there are two types of speciesization. There's the stuff that we describe, the concepts that we arrive at through socialized processes. And then there's the objective species difference that you say exists ontologically. Now, how do you
Yes.
determine what is ontologically correct?
Epistemology. We use epistemology to try to learn about ontology.
Okay, so you agree that right now our understanding of species, what like this is like a red-tailed squirrel, this is like an alpine winter squirrel, whatever.
Yes, all of our understanding is subjective. It's all based off human conceptions.
Okay,
Okay.
so if you're arguing that
I mean, I agree with that. Everything is subjective, based on each individual person. Sure, go on.
all human understanding is based off subjective conceptualization, then of what relevance is ontological truth to our understanding of what a woman is?
Because if the definition is trying to correspond to ontology,
We're
then you
always
making up
trying
a
to
wait,
correspond to
wait.
ontology.
Let me finish the answer before you keep going. So if we are no, we can make up things without trying to correspond to ontology all the time. It's just called making stuff up. So if one person defines real in the context of what corresponds to reality objectively independent of opinion, intuition, psychology, and their definition means not including those things objective, and that's what they mean by corresponding to
What is
reality.
an ontological?
Wait, so like you're just appealing to the word objective at that point. Like I don't even know how to respond to this. Like you're just talking about like something that's objective, but like everything that we appeal to is subjective. Like this is why I absolutely hate the word objective. Like I absolutely hate it. But anyway, let's hear the rest of what TJM's gonna say.
Logical woman.
whatever the metaphysical God who knows everything could define woman as, that would be it.
Is there a way for humans
Okay.
to determine what an ontological woman is?
With the best technology we can infer with induction, yes.
Wait,
No.
what technological
No. I mean, no. No. Are you kidding me? Okay.
processes could you use to arrive at what a woman is? Isn't that a philosophical question?
Well, science is a part of philosophy too.
Okay, so what is the ontological woman? How would you arrive at this determination?
Yes.
We would look at speciation from the course of human history and determine the similarities between the major different sex groups and what their relations are.
But we're not talking about sex, right? We're talking about gender.
Yep. Vosh is absolutely right there. Because most of the sciences do differentiate between sex and gender, because sex is a biological property and gender is a sociological property.
No, so that would be the difference here. It's like if
Can you-
Oh, and just before they go into it right here, I will full disclose right here. I am male to female. I'm actually not even male to female. I'm male to non-binary. However, most people see me as female, so I just go by she, her pronouns, mostly out of a point of convenience. However, in terms of this debate, yes, gender is a social, like, how we determine who fits into certain categories, and sex, I mean, they're going through a bunch of science right now to determine, and it's already been determined at the moment, that sex isn't a binary. So T-Jump is just wrong right here on its face, because, like, there's so many things that determine, like, what sex you are. That's why sex isn't considered a binary anymore.
Ontologically prove that sex
stop,
and
stop
gender are the same
interrupting,
thing?
Stop interrupting. So what we're talking about here is if one person has a definition of woman that is trying to correspond to the biological facts and not the psychological facts, then they're
What
going
if we
to
say
reject your
biology isn't
definition.
relevant?
Why are
One
you
sec.
still
Let's hear the rest
interrupting?
from Tom.
Why are you still
Sorry.
interrupting? So if a person wants to use their definition of woman and wants to make it correspond to the biological facts as much as possible, which they have a right to do, that is, biological facts are a real thing independent of a subjective opinion. They are objective.
First of all, just saying right there, in terms of, like, they have the right to do that. I mean, of course they have the right to do that. Just, you know, let's see how the rest of society reacts to that, I guess. Because the rest of society also has the right to react to that.
Existing, they have the right to do that. Now, you can define woman differently. You can say you want to include the psychological facts, but they also have the right to do the opposite. It's not transphobic. They're just disagreeing with
Sure.
you on what the definition should
Sounds
be.
like you're saying it's subjective.
Yep.
Yes. So both definitions are all subjective, but they're
Okay,
trying to
good.
get their definition to correspond to reality independent of all the subjective stuff, whereas you are adopting the subjective stuff.
So the problem right here is, like, there is a biological reality and there's also, like, a social reality. And T-Jump doesn't seem to understand that. Well, he seems to understand this to some extent, but when he's talking about super straight, like, he seems to be just taking the biological standpoint. So
Well, no. I would argue that it's actually the opposite, that you're post hoc justifying social biases, and I'm the one who's trying to arrive at the heart of, like, what is ultimately a linguistic distinction. I would actually argue you're engaging in a much greater degree of subjectivity than I am, and I think there's way more philosophy backing up the ontological relevance of my position than yours.
So the definition of objective is true independent of intuition, thoughts, opinions.
Wait, hold on.
etc.
So if you acknowledge that it's subjective, that what a woman is subjective, then couldn't you make the argument that some subjective determinations are going to be bigoted and some aren't?
Yes, but that has nothing to do with anything I said. So, like, for example, the word woman, I could say this cup is a woman. I can make this cup a woman just by arbitrarily defining it whatever I want.
Yes.
But if I want to say that I want
Sure.
my definitions to correspond to
plenty of
reality, and I want
languages
something
that,
in reality
like,
that maps onto this idea.
genderizes,
So the word woman would map onto
for lack of a
some
better
similarities
term,
between reproductive organs
like
and
certain
that
objects.
relation between species
Sure.
across time and what
Not
is
to
the
me.
most yes, obviously not to you, so that's fine. So if I'm saying I want my definition to correspond to reality in this way, and I don't want to have any subjective intuitions, opinions, because those are the opposite of objective. I want objective things only. So
You're still doing the subjective determination to decide that biology has
Yes.
anything to do with the definition
yes,
of womanhood.
Yes, but I'm trying to make the word correspond to an objective thing, not a subjective thing. So I want to say that this objective feature of reality that exists independent of human opinion is what I'm going to base.
Couldn't
my
you just say
definition
that a
off of.
woman is anything that's blue? And that way you
Yes,
have
like
another
a cup.
subjective definition.
Yeah.
Well, that conforms to objective reality because whether or not something is blue is pretty objectively determinable. So maybe
Sure.
whether or not something is objectively determinable is less important than how much social utility we get out of a given definition.
No. So again, we're trying to make this idea correspond to what most people mean by the word. So what most people mean by the word, obviously there's social utility there, is corresponding to this thing in reality that exists independent of our opinion. So you can use the word to mean other things, or you can use the word to mean that objective thing that exists independent of opinions.
Right,
And both of
exactly.
those are fine. You can subjectively
Yeah.
choose either one, but it's not
Exactly.
racist or transphobic.
I mean, we're just talking about words at this point. Like, it's so frustrating because, like, I understand the, like, value of, like, philosophy and science and, like, but, like, from my position and my opinion right here, T-Jump is just so focused on the objective versus the subjective, which is really hard to hear because, like, the subjective is what most of us, like, experience, which in turn turns into objective truths that we can take and look into, like, the sociology and objective truths to how trans people actually live into our society. This is why this is so frustrating. I understand, like, this is philosophy, and this is also very, very important to understand. However, like, it in the way that T-Jump is going through it just completely undermines and ignores, like, the actual social elements of what's going on within our society and the societies around the world.
To choose the other. This
So
is the disagreement.
I ask you again, okay, but you can disagree in ways that are racist or transphobic, right? So, for example, you can disagree with
I don't
me
know.
that you want to say integrate schools racially. You can have a different opinion, but
Sure.
the opinion can be racist, right? Like if
Sure.
you don't want black and white kids learning together, that can be like a racist thing to
Sure.
believe.
And it also can be not racist. It can be like you could have some kind of justifiable reason to believe that, and it has nothing to do with racism. Like you just
Okay.
genuinely believe it would be better.
But since we've agreed that the methods by which a person determines what they consider to be true have a subjective focus to them, like, for example, your subjective decision to incorporate biology into your definition of womanhood, and my subjective determination that self-identification should be the case. Since people use subjective matrices to arrive at whatever definitions they choose, don't you think it tells something about somebody that people would arrive at a definition of woman which is completely antithetical to the broader political interests of trans people, denies them their identity
No.
and legitimacy of their
No.
existence, and contributes to broader cultural norms that
No,
lead to
that's a
their harm?
hasty generalization fallacy.
Wait,
So
no,
that's-
that's actually not a hasty generalization fallacy.
Not
I can
what
literally
that
say that.
means.
Yes, it is. So
No, it's not.
that's exactly what it means. So if somebody does thing X, like categorizing women as biological, then they are racist. That is a hasty generalization fallacy because there are other reasons they could do that, like saying if they tend to prefer the hard sciences over the social sciences or biology over psychology, it has nothing to do with liking or disliking or thinking one group is better or worse than the
Okay,
other. They
so-
just literally think this category.
Wait, but, like, okay, so I'm going to make a hasty generalization fallacy. I'm going to do it right here, right now. So most people who think that trans women, trans men aren't men, non-binary people don't exist. Most of these people either don't know anything about science, sociology, any of those things, and are generally like non-open people. I mean, I'm just going to make that generalization. I feel extremely comfortable with that. Thank you for following Twitch. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, no, like, most of these people are, like, not thinking, like, yes, I am making a generalization, hasty fallacy. Let's see where the rest of this goes.
Of information is more important than this category of information, so they
Okay.
use this information.
So
as the
how do you
basis of the definitions.
determine which types of information are more valid to use when constructing a definition? Is it subjective?
Yes, usually you go based off evidence, though.
So don't bigots tend to subjectively determine definitions and
Sure.
worldviews that inform a
Sure.
bigoted perspective?
Sure,
Like
and
say,
Oh god, this is basically what I was just saying. Just Vosh is gonna say it better than I am.
non-bigots do too.
for example, a person deciding that black
Yes.
people aren't human because they
Yes.
arbitrarily decide that a melanin content in your skin is one of the determiners of what makes a human.
Yes, so some
Mhm.
bigots do bad things, but wait a minute, there are some non-bigots who also do those things.
That's not what I'm arguing. Wait, hold on. That's not what I'm arguing. So the original question was, why do people consider the super straight thing transphobic? Oh, well, actually, then it got boiled down to, why is it transphobic to say trans women aren't women? Which the fact that this
Yes.
is something that needs to be argued is preposterous to me. But
So the
reason-
question is can you label women and trans people in different categories for non-racist reasons? Is that is it logically possible?
well, no, the separation of cis women and trans women, the removal of trans women from womanhood would by its definition be transphobic.
How that would no, that's clearly wrong. So just
What does bigotry
disagreeing,
mean to you?
treating people differently. So like if you treat one group as lesser or
Like-
greater than another.
So treating people, that's an interesting definition that T-Jump is using here. So treating some other group differently is bigotry to you. This one's hard to go by because I've seen this debate, so I know where T-Jump is going to go with this. However, I mean, it depends on how the other people are going to treat you. It really does. Which is subjective, not objective. So, we're talking
Okay.
about social things, not like objectively verifiable things.
What
I
if a
could say
group
trans
wants to
people
be
are greater than
considered-
women. I could say trans people are the greatest thing ever, and I'm now separating them into a different category. That wouldn't be transphobic. That would be womanphobic or cisphobic. So no, just differentiating the categories doesn't mean there's phobia anywhere. There's no
So saying,
differentiation. Like
what if
in
you
levels.
said like black people aren't human, but
That's
black
diff-
people are like super cool? Would that be a racist statement? Like they're super cool, but they're not human
racist
beings.
against white people?
You think that would be racist against white people?
If you
Okay, I
thought
see.
Black people were the superior race. I think so. I think that's what it means.
All right, interesting.
Did I get that wrong? Did I misunderstand your analogy? Because I thought you said black people are the superior race, and I think that would be racist against the other races, wouldn't it?
They wouldn't be humans in the definition that I provided for that hypothetical. I think black people care about being considered humans. I mean, that's probably something that means something to them, right?
I don't think I'm following here. So like, if white people were gods and not human,
Also consider that like we're all humans, and that like we all want to be created, treated equally. So, I mean, let's just see. Let's see where
I think you would
where
still
this
consider
goes.
that racist, wouldn't you? Like if someone considered them not humans.
Okay,
gods?
let's see if
Isn't
we can
that
roll this back a little.
same
Let's
as
see
your
if
analogy?
we can pull it back to like like categorical harm.
Yeah,
So
getting
trans
back to
women
that,
want
so-
to use women's restrooms, right? Like
Sure.
for the most part, that
Sure.
seems to be something they like doing. Okay.
Sure.
So let's say that everyone in the world adopts your perspective that trans women aren't women; they're their own thing. Would you let them into women's restrooms?
Yes. My differentiation of their category has nothing to do with changing their rights in any way. So I'm not against trans women using restrooms. I just like to use biology as my basis for coming up with definitions. Rights should be all the fine. I don't care.
But they wouldn't be women. So it'd be like women and trans women's restrooms?
I don't think there should be like a biological filter that prevents people from going into a bathroom if they're not the right biological X and Y chromosome. No,
I
that's
think
not the
T-Jump
same thing.
has
So
an
my definition of women here is just I think that we should
inconsistency
define things like in a more objective sense related to biology. Something
Well,
that is
again, it would be an
objective.
objective sense if you said that everything that's a woman is blue. That would be like an objective
No,
determinant.
I don't want to go down the social constructionism route with you again.
That would be
So just-
objective. Everything with a wavelength particle between X and Y nanometers, that's what a woman is. That's
Yes,
very
and it's objective that I'm thinking of a
Right.
unicorn. That's also objective, but it's also subjective because it's about opinion. So I don't want to go
So
down
is
the
your
subject-
decision to
I don't-
incorporate
I don't-
biology
I
into your
don't-
argument
I
here.
don't-
You already
I don't-
acknowledged that. You acknowledged the decision to
I think
incorporate
T-Jump
biology
All
is
into your
methodologies are
dodging
subjective.
here.
That's fine. But if a subjective choice to go with an objective fact is superior to a subjective choice to go with a
How do you
subjective
determine
fact,
what's superior?
it corresponds to reality, more likely to correspond to reality.
Wait, but
I'm gonna
wait,
go with that
no,
one.
wait, hold on. That's a circular argument, okay? You just made that. You just argued correctly that it's a subjective determination to incorporate biology, but now you're
Yes.
saying that conforms more to objective reality. We're not referring to
No.
objective reality.
So you asked what makes one better. So I'm saying what makes it better is if your beliefs correspond to reality, independent of
But
opinion.
that's circular because you're saying it
Mm.
corresponds more to reality because you're using biology, which corresponds to reality. But you argued correctly that your invocation of biology was subjective. So again, you could argue
no.
the same thing about the color blue.
No,
I
no,
think that the
biology
definition that
corresponds
things
to
that are
reality. Like, do you think biology doesn't correspond to reality? Like science.
so does the
corresponds to
color
reality?
blue.
Yes.
Yeah, so wait, hold on. Defeat me then, okay? Everything that is blue is a woman. X, Y, and Y nanometers, the wavelength of the light particle, that's what a woman is. I have chosen a definition which is not only confers to reality, but can be measured by machinery to a incredible degree of specificity. And I'm directly describing reality because my entire definitional criteria refers to something that you could see in the mathematics of the universe. Your biology argument's looking pretty flimsy in the face of my electromagnetic radiation argument.
Because of the history of the word woman refers to biology.
Oh God, no, not the appeal to tradition fallacy. Oh no. Okay, anyway. Oh fuck. I mean, I'm sorry. Like I really do like T-Jump. I really do, and I really want to keep liking T-Jump, but he consistently makes like really bad arguments. All right,
So
if
let's,
it's not a
let's
hold
see
on.
where the rest
History.
of this goes.
So I thought we were referring to reality, not tradition.
Yes. So there's a part of both. As I mentioned before, all methodologies are subjective. Yeah. Science
Okay.
is a methodology. The words have intended usage to mean certain things, and then we want to find things in.
So I want to address this appeal to tradition versus like science. Like appeal to tradition is like something that like generally like you and your family or group of family or like these people do the same thing every single year. Like I mean I used to have like family like get-togethers like all the time. I stopped going to them because like A, I can't afford it, and B, I think they're stupid. But so we're going to that versus like science. Like I guess science could be construed as like an appeal to tradition fallacy. However, we're talking about science, which so far, as we can tell, has a consistent track record of giving us the best facts that we can know. However, if there all of a sudden becomes a new process, not called science, maybe based on science, who knows, we figure out a better, like, excuse me, if we figure out a better, like, way of knowing things that isn't science but is better than science, to know, like, how the world around us works, like, I would immediately change to that model, because I am interested in, like, the truth of things. So sorry, I know I didn't explain that extremely well, but let's keep going.
reality which those words refer to. Like, obviously, sometimes they don't. Like unicorn, there's nothing in reality that the word unicorn refers to. Gravity, there is something in reality that that word refers to. We use the word to describe stuff falling, and the stuff
So
falling is
if we
caused by the
wanted to
curvature.
define
Wait. I'm
what
going somewhere.
means.
I'm going somewhere with this. So
Okay.
if we see something falling and we use the word gravity to describe that phenomenon that we are seeing, and then you say, no, gravity is anything that's blue, like, no, we want to describe the phenomenon, this specific phenomenon that exists independent of our opinions. You can call it whatever you want. I don't care. We're using the word to describe the phenomenon.
Keep in mind, this is like a super straight debate, so.
So if people use the word woman to describe the phenomenon of biological sex differences, then the fact that your choice to make it describe blue is irrelevant. You can do that. Go for it. We're going to make our words describe the real thing to which the word refers to.
How is it real?
Independent of our imagination.
How is
How is that real?
How is what you just said more real than my argument?
I don't understand the question.
How is your biology definition any more real than mine without deferring to subjective appeals to tradition, like historically biology has been what we've used?
Because we use the word to refer to a phenomenon. We don't use the word to refer to a blue phenomenon?
Wait, blue wavelengths are a phenomenon. What? Wait, the color blue
okay,
is a psychological
I think I
phenomenon.
understand. I
Color
think I
only
understand your
exists in our
question.
head.
So we came up with the word to describe something we saw a long time ago, and
Sure.
then that thing that we saw exists. So we came up with a word to describe the thing we saw. You know, if a million billion years ago we came up with the word woman to describe blue things, then you'd be right. We didn't.
Wait, again, you're referring now to historical appeal, which
Yes,
is the
that's
definition of a
perfectly
fallacy.
fine.
See,
Wait,
the problem is what
No,
you're doing
appeal
is
to history is not a fallacy.
Hold on.
History is
You've gone
evidence.
off for a while.
Yeah,
what
I
you're
know.
doing is the definition of a post hoc rationalization.
Okay, yeah. So appeal to history, as long as you're actually appealing to a history that actually happened, no exaggerations, like just actually describing what's going on. That's not a fallacy. However, if you're trying to argue that we should do things based off of said history to continue doing it now, like, that's a fallacy. So let's see.
Your philosophical backing here is incoherent. You defer to referring to reality, but then you acknowledge that the decision to refer to reality is subjective, and then you say that actually it's more objective in that case because you're referring to something that has historical precedent, but then you argue that other things don't have the same, like, etymological precedent, which I thought you were describing reality. Are you saying then that the deference to real phenomena is in any way, like, modified or made more or less preferential based on historical input? How would we change
Yes.
scientific definitions that way? And additionally, if that's the case, you still haven't given me a deterministic criteria for why we would ever use biology to describe woman instead of the nanometers of between the crests of a wavelength of an electromagnetic particle. The problem is we are so far away from the actual argument right now because you were so unwilling to cede philosophical positions that people were figuring out when they use sundials to tell the time.
No one in philosophy.
Wait. Hold on, I'm almost done.
Okay,
Almost
go
done.
for it.
The fact that we're trying to describe, like, the extent to which social constructs influence ontology and epistemology, when we're trying to, you're arguing the position it's not transphobic to say trans women aren't women, is insane. If you really want to, like, go in the hard social constructionist route, which you seem, by the way, to retreat to every time your objective argument falls through, then I would simply say this:
Never
bigotry
fallen through.
against bigotry against a social minority is usually described as something which marginalizes or disadvantages them. And in case you hadn't noticed, trans women really like being referred to as women. Hence, a decision to not do that socially would contribute significantly to harm against them. Hence, it would be a bigoted decision. You can argue that it's justified bigotry, which would, by the way, be a position you could argue without sounding like a lunatic. But the argument that that's not bigotry is ridiculous to me. If you want to argue that it's justified bigotry against trans people, then that's the same argument I've had against a million other people. But this, like, it's not transphobic to say trans women aren't women thing is like, where do we even go from here? You know?
Yeah, everything you just said is completely incoherent. So yeah, all scientists, philosophers agree with me.
Incoherent.
Yes, we come up with words in the history, in the past. We make them up. Words are completely made up by humans. They didn't exist in the universe before humans made them up, but we made them up to describe things that exist. So there's a history of people using this word to describe something in reality, and we tried to describe the thing in reality to which the words.
Okay, so in this particular part, I'm going to, at the very least, I'm going to try and address T-Jump's point of view and philosophy, quote unquote, and I'm going to do my very best to take it in good faith. So here we go.
Refer. The word woman has been used to refer to something related to biology, usually referred to XY chromosomes, gametes, those kinds of things. That is a very...
No, that's not what women has referred to, like, within the past, like, even 100 years. Like, come on, T-Jump. Do you know your own chromosomes? Like, holy fuck. And gametes? You probably know your own gametes. Maybe, but you don't know your own chromosomes. I would fucking guarantee you that.
Description of how the word woman has been used throughout history. So it is, if you want to make...
Appeal to tradition. God damn it. Appeal to tradition.
The word woman correspond to something in reality independent of opinion, that would be it, which is completely legitimate. It is not...
No, it's not legitimate, like, basing things off of what they used to mean. That's an appeal to tradition fallacy. That's literally what that means.
Bigoted to class people in different groups if there is an objective difference, because you're not saying anyone's better or worse.
Between every single individual on Earth.
One sec.
Yes, there is. And they're different groups.
We'll let you wrap up, Tom, and then we'll go back to Vosh.
So yeah, it's not racist to class people in different groups unless you're saying that because they're in this group, they are lesser or greater than. That's not what I've done and not what many people do. The fact that you want to prioritize biological criteria in defining them has nothing to do with establishing their worth as human beings. The fact that they like to be called something is irrelevant. If I like to be called King Henry VIII and you're not calling me King Henry VIII, that doesn't disadvantage me.
That's fucking ridiculous. That's a fucking ridiculous analogy.
I don't care about your psychological feelings here. I care about, like, taking away your rights to buy houses or go into bathrooms or whatever. That would be a disadvantage. What you like to be called, I don't care. So just classifying people differently because your classification is based off some empirical objective facts, not based off of opinion, is perfectly fine. It has nothing to do with racism, as long as you don't say they're better or worse in some sense.
Right. So the whole racism begins and ends at saying one group is better or worse than another is like a child's understanding of bigotry. There are many
Okay, go on, Vosh.
ways in which you can arbitrarily construct categorization to disadvantage groups without explicitly saying they're worse. What about people who defer to, like, early documents from the founding fathers to say that only white people in America... Wait, hold on. What about people who defer to old texts to say that only white people in America are actual Americans and that everyone else is just like an occupier or like a cohabitator or something like that? If you wanted to go back and nitpick stuff the founding fathers said, you could probably make that argument. I mean, a lot of them were pretty goddamn racist. And then you would say, and then you say, hold on. We're not saying all the black people here in America are worse or less of people, but they're not Americans. Now, you may argue this is a meaningless categorical distinction, and it's similar to what you're doing right now, but the fact of the matter is that there are real consequences to engaging in behavior like that. First and foremost, it's an arbitrary designation that doesn't seem to serve any purpose other than marginalizing that group of people. If you don't like trans women, just say, I don't like trans women. Trying to argue in bad faith about epistemology as to whether or not they actually women is really, really weird. Just be specific with the criticism and with the groups that you're denouncing. When I say, for example, you know, I don't like X or Y group here in America, or I don't like this behavior or that behavior.
So in this particular case, like I see what Vosh is getting at, and I don't think like T-Jump is actually transphobic, even though that I think that he's in this particular debate is promoting like particular like transphobic narratives. However, I see where Vosh is getting at, and yes, I do agree with him that I would rather other people say that they're just transphobic instead of fucking hiding behind like some social justice like narrative or whatever the fuck, you know?
I don't try to stretch pre-existing definitions to try to find ways to ostracize them without actually having the guts to specifically say they're
In this particular case, I will disagree with Vosh there, because I don't think that T-Jump is looking to ostracize like trans people. In this particular case, like I will disavow Vosh in this particular statement.
worse than me or they're better than me. Fact is, trans women want to be called women and trans men want to be called men. It means a hell of a lot to them. And we have collectively socially agreed, and this is all a social process, that denying them the right to be referred to as the gender they identify as is something that harms them, something that's prejudiced against them. I can't argue against this. If you want to like retreat back to an primitive epistemology to try to argue that actually it's not bigoted to use categorization to marginalize, disadvantage, and ostracize minority groups, that's an impossible position, not only to defend, by the way, but to attack. It's like not even wrong. It's not coherent enough to be attacked. If we want to talk why don't we just talk about the super straight thing? Why can't we just
you brought all this stuff up. I didn't.
Marginalize trans people. It's an inaccurate critique that doesn't need to be taken seriously by your own admission, and its existence seems to hurt trans people. It seems to me like a pretty clear-cut thing to criticize.
Hasty generalization fallacy.
That's not what.
I mean, I agree with what Vosh is about to say. It's not a hasty generalization fallacy. It just isn't.
A fallacy. No. Okay.
So, expert in philosophy who does know fallacies, not someone who knows fallacies.
Sell me. Why should I support the super straight movement? I'm woke. I like people's identities, and I support people's right to fuck who they want. So sell me on it. You know.
So the reason to support the super straight movement is because it points out the hypocrisy of the woke community. So if you don't like the woke community,
hypocrisy?
The fact that they accept some identities but not others.
That's not a hypocrisy. That's fun. Wait, hold on. You're okay. Wait, hold on. You're okay with me shaking your hand but not punching you in the face? I thought you were in favor of all forms of hand-based physical contact. What? Nobody in the left has ever said they accept all identities. What about neo-Nazis? This is such a fragile criticism. You claim to be accepting of all identities. You're okay with trans people, but not.
Yeah, this is exactly what I brought up in the beginning of my video. No, just because you accept something doesn't mean you just have a blanket statement of it. This is why the attack helicopter joke is so fucking stupid. Okay, anyway, go on.
Neo-Nazis? The hypocrisy of the left.
I'm technically okay with all identities. I don't care what your identity is. You can identify as a attack helicopter. I'm fine with that. I don't care. I don't care about your identities.
Okay, but nobody on the left has pledged to support every identity that exists, because this would include every political identity that has tried to hurt them as well.
So the argument here isn't that literally every identity. The argument is that you have such. No, it's not. So the argument is that there is such a broad spectrum of identities listed. Just watch a Blair White video where she just goes through hundreds of them, and
is
these
that
are
where you
supposedly.
Get your understanding of the
God damn it, Blair White. Okay. Anyway.
Community from Blair White videos?
No, but she's a good example because she makes this argument.
She's not a good example.
Reason to know this is a legitimate argument made against the woke community and why.
Actually, I shouldn't be as unfair. Because I don't know where T-Jump is pulling their reference from, and because I don't watch Blair White, because I think she's just disgusting. So, yeah.
Many people accept this super straight label is because the proponents of the anti-woke community say this. The people with hundreds of thousands of followers are literally saying the things I'm saying, that yes, this is a good argument because it shows the hypocrisy of the woke community. That's the reason they're accepting it, not because of transphobia. Because
what argument is that? Wait, hold on. Who? Give me an example of who?
Sargon, Blair White, Black Pigeon Speaks.
So it's just a coincidence that all these people are transphobes. You just named Blair White the most self-hating trans woman on earth, an ethno-nationalist and a neo-Nazi. You don't think it's it's
No,
not
I don't
because they're
consider them
transphobic.
I
Wait,
don't consider them
hold on.
transphobic,
It's
so-
not because they're transphobic. Hold on. It's just a coincidence that everyone pushing for this publicly is transphobic. You know.
Yeah, I don't consider
Um,
them transphobic. Your subjective
I know you don't
interpretation-
because to you definitions are just like trapeze, like escape traps that you can they're like escape rooms.
No,
that you
I
can
care
try
about
to-
science. You care about made-up psychology. Science.
You
Psychology.
already acknowledged that.
Wait, made up psychology? Like, wait. So like T-Jump just cares about like literal just like biology? Like psychology is like a thing. Like do you not care about like figuring out like what humans think, what humans do? Like like come on, T-Jump. Okay. I may not agree with what Vosh is about to say, but I will say that I think Blair White is a fucking piece of shit. Okay?
Definitions are a socially determined process. You keep backing up to
Sure.
like, actually, I defer to objectivity, but you don't.
Yes,
It's just a
yes.
coward's retreat that you go to
No,
when you can't.
you
own up
not
to the fact
understanding
that
how
your
science
subjective
works isn't a
No, T-Jump, you keep referring to, like, some psychology or sociology, like, you keep referring to these things that just humans do, and the social scientists are trying to figure out, like, why and how, like, we react to certain things. Like, social science is the thing. Psychology science is a thing. Like, you can't just constantly refer to objective reality because that would be impossible in our current day and age. Like, stop lying about this. Like, for real.
problem with my ideology. So yes, words are socially constructed, and if you try to make them correspond to reality,
And he literally just goes into a social construct immediately after, just criticize them of that.
that's what trying to make them objective.
What is
means.
Oh no, wait, we're not going down the illiterate epistemology.
So my question.
So hold on,
major
wait.
question.
Sell me. Wait, hold on. Sell me on the super straight thing, okay?
I just
Because the
did.
argument that the woke left wants all identities to be valid isn't.
I
and
never,
never has
again,
been
I already
true.
addressed that. So the fact
And what's
that
the
you have
hypocrisy?
an arbitrary criterion for what should be
It's not
accepted based
arbitrary.
on, yes, it is. So if you
How
have
is
an
it
arbitrary,
arbitrary?
wait, stop interrupting. So if you have an arbitrary criterion for what you think should be accepted as an identity based off of your personal preferences and your psych.
We're talking about an identity. We're not talking about like, God damn it. We're not talking about. Okay, we are talking about identity. We're not talking about like whoever's social theology, which we can change, by the way, through medical science. So like this is irrelevant.
Psychology of some kind. Other people's psychology should also have a legitimate claim to being accepted as an identity, just like Dolezal.
You're
Okay, then I can identify as a woman or a man, or in my particular case, I'm non-binary. However, I still, like, I identify more as feminine. So, like, which bathroom should I use? Usually, for me, I use the women's bathroom because that's the closer option to what is available into today's society.
You didn't answer the question. What is the arbitrary designation?
People's identities based off of their feelings.
Okay, like
Okay.
neo-Nazis? Is the left okay with that?
No idea, but I didn't bring
No
up
idea.
neo-Nazis.
T-Jump, come on. Meet me where the
So-
conversation is.
That's not.
No,
what the
you know they're
conversation is.
goddamn
It's
well
an
not.
irrelevant topic. So
Wait,
how
hold on.
about
No,
you
it's
answer my
perfectly
question?
relevant. Your argument is that there's hypocrisy here, but there's
Yes.
none. Generally
No,
speaking,
no.
hold on. The reason people on the left accept these crazy identities that you guys like to make outrage videos about, in spite of the fact that they're occupied by maybe 6 people on Tumblr, is because generally speaking, a lot of people have experiences socially, personally, psychologically, that they don't feel conform to the social expectations surrounding hegemonic sexual and gender identities. So by creating categorizations, which sometimes is I don't know, sort of a meaningless linguistic flair, but by doing so, they try to give a little bit more meaning and comfort to people whose experiences are atypical. The super straight thing isn't that. That's not its
How?
origin.
Because that sounds exactly like what it is.
You already acknowledged right off the bat that it's a criticism similar
Sure.
to the attack helicopter joke. You've
Sure.
already said
Mhm.
it's not what I just described it to be.
Wait. So, what's the difference here? So is it
Wait,
the difference just the
What's
origin?
the
'Cause-
difference between the attack helicopter joke and being okay with people accepting divergent gender identities to describe their personal experience?
So what I heard you say is that gender identities are accepted because they are meant to, as a categorization, to bring comfort to people who don't feel some connection to the social expectations around sexuality, something like that. Is that about right?
In part, yeah. They're not
Oh.
criticisms of some broader existing
Wait.
category.
So super straight, that would apply literally to, there's a group of people who
You
have
already
a,
acknowledged that
wait,
it's not a
wait,
serious
wait,
identity, though. You
wait,
can't back
wait,
up to the identity argument.
I'll address that in a minute. So there is a group of people who have a sexual identity which does not correspond to the social expectation,
No,
and
they
they created a term. Wait a minute. And they created a term to give themselves comfort. So that label could be applied to everything you just said. Now, obviously, the origin is different because they don't accept identities, so they don't take identities seriously. But given your own definition of what this is, that would fit on all of those criteria, other than the origin thing.
Only if
Wouldn't
you
it?
were dishonest. You already admitted it's not taken seriously as an
Yeah.
identity and it's used as a criticism. This is what I mean by you back and forthing like a
No,
coward.
no.
Yeah, I think honestly, watching this debate like is seriously hurting my head, and I think that T-Jump is incredibly inconsistent here. I know that he's. I think. Okay, I'm not gonna say I know because I'm dumb, but from what I can tell, T-Jump is indeed a philosophy major, or maybe a minor or whatever. He's engaged in philosophy, but he is not engaged with how the real world works. And that makes it extremely difficult to take him seriously when he's just totally inconsistent and makes it seem like he knows what he's talking about. However, he's talking about science and God, I don't know. It's really hard. It's really hard to listen to him when he's trying to compare objective reality to subjective reality. We're humans. We have subjective realities. And I don't know what else to say past that, to be honest. Let's continue watching.
It's not. Wait, hold on. It's an identity when it's convenient for you to be an identity, and then it's a criticism when it's convenient for you to be a criticism. You can't I hope anyone watching this recognizes this back and forth has taken place about a dozen times, and I pointed it out every time, and you still keep doing it. So, additionally, even if we're moving beyond the broader criticism here, the premise of the super straight label directly invalidates the legitimacy of trans people, and for that reason, the left would never accept it. You think it's hypocritical for the left to say we accept trans people, but we don't accept anti-trans identities?
So just based off of the criteria you listed of what a true identity is, it is a word, a label that gives
If you
comfort.
want to twist the definition I gave you, you could describe.
I don't want to
anything,
twist it. I
including neo-Nazism.
definitely do not want to twist it. I want to try and use what your accurate definition was.
Can you
So-
respond to the criticism that I've levied then, rather than trying to twist everything
I'm
that's ever
trying
existed?
to. I'm
into an
trying to
identity?
do that. You keep interrupting. So the point here is this is an internal critique. So yes, the super straight label is a criticism of the woke community. The reason it's a criticism is
not.
because when you apply the woke community standards, the things you just listed, this would fit as an identity just like the other ones.
How does it fit the
Except
woke
for the
community
genetic
standard?
fallacy.
Wait,
The origin doesn't matter.
genetic fallacy?
Yes, the origin fallacy. Saying
Wait.
it was
What
created for this
genetic
purpose is
fallacy?
an
What about the
origin
fact that
fallacy.
the central premise of super straight is that trans women aren't women? Wouldn't that be a good reason for woke lefties to not accept it because they don't believe that?
Not based off of your definition. So your definition, I think, I want to make sure I'm
So wait,
saying this
no,
accurately.
hold on. Wait. You keep repeating the definition. Let me be perfectly clear, okay?
Sure.
I just explained people creating an identity to explain divergent sexual or gendered characteristics. First of all, being a straight guy who's not attracted to trans women is not divergent. Okay, it's not some oppressed minority that's yearning
it is.
for it. Hold on, come on, who that's like yearning for acceptance. Second of all, the inherent premise of being super straight is that trans women aren't women. And if you wanted to, you could just say, keep in mind all of this whining and crying. You could just say, I'm a straight guy. I don't really know if I'm like attracted to trans women. That's all you'd have to say. And I think in almost any place on earth, that would be treated with a perfect degree of legitimacy. This.
Yeah, I mean, at least within my, you know, decade plus, like, expertise in this situation, like, yes, if someone said that they were attracted to me, yes, I would just say, like, okay, let's move on then. Like, you don't have to talk to each other anymore. That's fine. Like, why do you need, like, a super straight movement? Like, this is so fucking silly. And yes, the origins of the super straight movement is extremely transphobic. Like, I mean, that's just the core of this. But anyway, let's move on.
Rhetorical flourish exists exclusively to, with bad faith, ascribe the legitimacy of a sexuality to the premise that trans women aren't women. That's why you keep jumping back and forth between identity and criticism. It doesn't actually hold up as an identity, but you're trying to use the rhetorical flourish of a sexual identity when really all you're actually doing is saying trans women aren't women. Why would the left ever accept the legitimacy of an identity that delegitimized trans women?
You're not supposed
Any other
to accept it.
sexualities on the left?
The point is that you won't accept it, even though it meets the vast majority of the criteria you just listed.
The
That's
vast
point.
majority of. Well, the invalidates trans people just happens to trip one of the red flags. The left's never going to.
Okay, that's nice. So does it meet the other ones? Does it meet the one that this is a sexual identity of people who
already
don't
acknowledged
meet,
it's not an identity? Why do you keep doing this, man?
a hypothetical identity.
Hypothetical.
Oh,
Okay.
hypothetically.
So is it a
he's
label for a
backtracking.
sexual preference
so
that does
embarrassing
not conform
for
to a
T-Jump
certain
right here.
subset of society's expectations that can make people feel marginalized? Do all of those fit? Because they seem to fit.
First of all, nobody's marginalized for not being attracted to trans people.
All you have to do is say that you're not into a specific genitals. Like, that's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. You don't have to, delegitimize, like, fucking trans people. All you have to say is, like, I'm not into this specific genital type. That's it. That's it. It's that easy.
Like, no matter how hard you want to run that down, I do not buy that premise, whatever
there was
victim
a porn
complex
star
you
who
may
was
have.
just labeled a transphobe and fired
For what?
because he wouldn't date or wouldn't do a sex scene with a trans woman. So yes, that does happen.
And I'd
So,
like to
yes,
see the
it does
context.
happen.
Yeah, and the porn industry is, like, fucking gross, and we can go into all that, but...
Wait, hold on. It happening once or a couple times is not the same as broader social marginalization.
Wait.
there have been-
You just listed, like, there's a bunch of names for people. There's like 6 people who identify as this. Like, yes, it does.
Oh my god, 6 people out of, like, what, 300 and fucking almost 400 million people in the United States? 6 people?
So that's a legitimate. If those 6 people get a legitimate identity, so do these 6.
I mean, just for clarification, like, there's 1.4 million trans people based off of a study in 2016. There's probably way more who identify as us, but you know, we'll go with that. 6 people.
So you're saying that trans, the person who didn't want to work with a trans person should identify as super straight?
No, I'm saying they could. They would fit this label. So as a marginalized group who has a sexual preference that doesn't meet the social expectations like you defined it, this would fit
6 people.
all of those criteria that you provided for your
Except for the
definition.
really critical one, that the super straight thing inherently invalidates trans people.
Okay, so it meets all the other criteria though.
You realize that's a really, because like otherwise
yes, I'm
you
happy
could
to
make a
grant that.
sexual identity for anything. I'm
Happy to
giga
grant that.
straight.
What happened to, like, objective truth with T-Jump here? Like, what the fuck?
I'm not attracted to
Sure.
black women, you know.
Sure.
Hold on. I'm mega
Agreeing
straight,
with you.
actually. I'm not attracted to like
I'm
you know,
mega
Jewish
straight.
women or something. Otherwise you could get away with producing any kind
Sure.
of sexual identity.
Sure. So you listed a whole bunch of criteria, and all of them except one are met.
So you realize the entire. Wait, hold on, really quick. Wait. Hold. No. Please.
I'm making an argument. Please.
This
let me
is very
finish. Please.
critical.
No,
The
please. I know
entire
this-
debate, I have been criticizing the super straight thing on transphobia. You are incredibly obsessed with now trying to find some like ledge to grab to justify the sexuality angle, in spite of the
What?
fact that you disavowed it in the first 30 seconds of your opening statement.
What was the point?
Obviously, the issue is the transphobia.
So again,
we can
you
put a
not
pin in this, coming
understanding.
back to it, but just so we both get your points in. Tom, do
Yeah,
you want to go
so-
back to that?
You keep not understanding how an internal critique works. So we adopt your ideology for the sake
The
of the
internal
argument, while
critique
knowing
of the
it's stupid.
helicopter.
So I know your argument is, I know your identity politics is stupid and it's wrong and dumb. But I'm going to adopt it for the sake of the argument. And so let's say
Sure.
identities are a real.
Just saying that someone's ideology and stuff is wrong is not an argument. So
Thing. Your definition of what an identity or what qualifies as an identity included things such as it is a label that identifies a certain group of sexual preference that is not accepted by a social community. All of those things fit the super straight label because it is all of those things. Now, it's not, you're right, it labels trans women, not women, which so it would not fit all of your criteria, but it does fit a hell of a lot of them. That's the
Then what's the
hypocrisy. part. So
that is
I'm
by
answering your
definition
question.
not
I'm
a hypocrisy.
answering your question. So there's a lot of criteria that you list for an identity. This meets a lot of those criterion. So to us, it seems like the vast majority of the criterion have been met by this standard, and you not accepting it means your hypocrisy.
So this-
That's your
so wait,
hypocrisy from our
hold on.
perspective.
This
So
is
whether or not you accept it or not, it doesn't matter. This is
No,
from our
it's-
perspective. It looks like hypocrisy because all of these criteria are met by this thing, just like it is for those other things.
so this would look like hypocrisy to an idiot. From the beginning of this to the end, from point A to point B, the problem has been the transphobia. And you're saying,
I
well,
failed
it's
to see-
hypocritical of you to have.
I honestly failed to see like where the hypocrisy is. Maybe y'all in the comments can actually point them out to me.
This standard for this, but not for this. Oh, wait, it actually is the same standard, but it hits most of the criteria. Anything could be considered an identity. Like I said, neo-Nazi can be considered an identity. Literally all of the human experience. The word identity is extremely broad. The critical distinction here is the transphobia. That's what we've been arguing about this entire time. So your argument, hold on, that it's hypocritical would only be legitimate if you ignored the transphobia problem, which is the main thing people say about super straight. There are two things progressives say about super straight, both of which you've acknowledged. First of which, you said it's not a real identity, that it's done in bad faith. You said that from the beginning. You said it was the same as the attack helicopter joke. So, I mean, you can back and forth that all you want, but you opened, and I appreciate you
I
seeing
agree.
that
Yes,
at the beginning.
I agree with that.
Right. And
Yes.
the second point is that it's transphobic, which is, and then we had to argue the definition of transphobia
Which
forever.
I
But
proved
yes,
was not. I proved it was not.
you didn't prove that's okay. That is very funny that that's what you thought happened there. But that's the criticism people on the left levy, that it's in bad faith and that it's transphobic. You acknowledge the bad.
Because I mean, he didn't defend like it wasn't transphobia like very well. I'm just saying, Bosch did way better in that particular part of the debate. But here we go.
Faith in disingenuously invoking an identity for the sake of the attack helicopter criticism, and then you acknowledge that there is a legitimate categorical distinction between the left's acceptance of the identities we do consider valid and the left's acceptance of super straight, the transphobia. You have already ceded both points, both of the criticisms that people make. And the idea that this, like you're arguing there's hypocrisy here, is at this point, by your own admission, completely invalid. You've already determined the category, the consistent category by which people on the left determine their support for these identities. It's
No,
that
so
simple.
let
You
me
lost-
review.
you
Let me review the
fought
argument
against yourself
for
in
you.
this
So,
debate.
so obviously, it's a criticism of the SJW community created on our side, which is fine. But an internal critique means that we apply it to your ideology. So you're
But it's not.
presume-
You didn't reveal any
Don't interrupt.
inconsistency.
Don't interrupt. So
You're
you
just repeating.
assuming it's transphobic, which I proved was false. You can label trans women and women in different categories without it being transphobic. You don't have to say one is better or worse to say they're categorized in different categories if you're labeling it based off of biology. It doesn't mean you have any bias. It doesn't mean you're bigoted. It just means you define the word based off of this feature of reality rather than psychology. There's literally nothing transphobic about that.
But then you're like literally like ignoring a part of reality in terms of human existence, unless you just don't give a shit about like human psychology or what they experience. Like, okay.
So if it's not transphobic to label these as two different categories, and you can use super straight and it meets every other one of the criterias, and now it meets your trans one too because it's not transphobic, it's now met all of your criteria.
But it doesn't. It meets our definition of transphobic, and you
Yes.
can say you disprove that it was
Bosch
transphobic.
is right
and again,
there.
that's a spectacular interpretation of events you have back there. But by the left's definition, a consistent definition we have, by the way, trans women are women, trans men are men, et cetera, consistent definition, bulletproof even. You can disagree with the internal premises, but it is consistent. By that definition, we have a consistent way of deciding which identities are valid and which aren't. Or it's one of the, if there was like a racist, like Giga Straight, I'm not attracted to black women thing, that
Sure.
also you can't be racist, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, that was the hasty generalization fallacy.
So again, the idea that there's hypocrisy here is factually incorrect because you have identified the existence of a consistent standard.
Remember,
wait, hold
hasty
on,
generalization
wait,
fallacy.
hold on. That super straight flags and other identities we accept don't. Our definition of transphobia is consistent in our.
No, it's not.
Wait.
No, it is.
Saying trans women aren't women is, by our consistent standard, transphobic.
That's
and
a hasty generalization fallacy. That's false.
not. Wait, hold on. I can't.
No, it's not a hasty generalization, Val. Wait, if you're gonna go by like definitions, wait, I'm super confused. Like, is T-Jump saying like he doesn't agree with like a certain definition, and all of a sudden like a definition that he doesn't like is just a hasty generalization fallacy, even though he's going by his own definitions of what like science is or what God damn it.
Anyone who adopts that ideology is wrong.
Let's
wait. Hold on.
Bosch,
Who
I'll
says
give you a
that
chance
is
to
wrong?
really pithy wrap up, Bosch, and then we'll go.
Is he just going by like psychology and not psychology? He obviously doesn't give a shit about psychology. Is he just going based off of like science and like biology? Like, what's going on?
Over you, Tom.
Oh yeah, sure. T-Jump is not even wrong on this. I don't even know if I can really say I won this, in the same way that I don't necessarily know if I could win a debate with a person who doesn't speak English. His understanding of basically every big brain like dictionary word he tried to pull out here, from ontology to epistemology to social determination to speciation to like all the fallacies that he miscited, is indicative of I don't know if it's arrogance or what, but man, so we've disproven his point using arguments he gave us. First and foremost, he acknowledged that the super straight thing is not being done in good faith. It's not an identity, and that's not what that means. I can't. You can if you're ever curious what if you're ever wait, hold on. T-Jump. If you're ever curious what T-Jump is saying means, you can actually Google it, and I would encourage you, because there is a spectacular range of difference between the words that he uses and the way he uses them and the actual definitions of those words. So the two key victory medals that I'm wearing on my neck over here are thus for. First, he gave me the win in the first 30 seconds. This is not an identity, and it's not treated as such, and it's not considered such by the people who promote it. And second of all, the left has a consistent definition that we use to determine the legitimacy of identities. Don't be transphobic by our definition of transphobic, or if you don't want to use the word transphobia, acknowledge the validity of trans people's identity. That's a consistent standard. And it's something that works with our identities and doesn't work with the super straight thing. So there's no hypocrisy here, which means that trying to expose the hypocrisy with a 6-year-old meme, the attack helicopter meme, is, I guess it failed. I'm really happy that we were able to resolve that today. It's just an inaccurate, flaccid, impotent critique that doesn't reveal any hypocrisy. And that's all I have to say.
All right, so let's review
let's see
all of
what
Vosh's
T-Jump
failures
has
and
to
just
say
basic
here.
misunderstanding of philosophy. So genetic fallacy is the fallacy of origins that says that its origin is in somehow discrediting its current modern context. That's literally what
That's not what that fucking means, T-Jump. Like, and you know it.
the
Come
fallacy
on.
is. You can Google it and what it says. So its origin doesn't matter to its current context, the whole point. So yes, that is a genetic fallacy. Hasty generalization fallacy. He's saying that anyone who labels trans women as not women is a transphobe by his definition. That's a hasty generalization fallacy. There can be legitimate reasons to label them in different categories that have nothing to do with bigotry or saying any is better or worse, which proves that labeling them separate things is not transphobic. It's not evil. There's no bigotry there.
Again, we're here talking about like a genetic fallacy, like within, like maybe if everyone in this like debate here had like the same understanding of like what like men and women had and didn't care like what the origins of something was. Like, we're talking about something that is real and happens in reality. Like, this isn't a genetic fallacy.
Because there can be reasons to do it that have nothing to do with bigotry.
We're talking about
So it's a
something
hasty
that
generalization
happens
fallacy
in reality
to
right
say
now.
that anyone who does this is racist. Hasty generalization fallacy. Nazis breathe, you breathe, you're a Nazi. Hasty generalization fallacy. That's the second fallacy.
Yes, the Nazi thing. Yes, that's a genetic fallacy. That's not what was talked about tonight.
Epistemology, study of knowledge. Ontology, study of what exists. Yes, I do know what these words mean. Bausch is an idiot. So, as I have proven that you can label trans women as not women and not be transphobic as long as you don't have any bigotry involved in there. It's not about better or worse. It's just a category. Then no, it's not transphobic to use the super straight label because you haven't said they're better or worse in any way. You've just stated a personal preference. So it meets every single one of his proposed criteria.
But everyone who's using the super straight fallacy wants to take, well, not everybody. I shouldn't say everybody, but most people who are using the super straight label do want to take rights away from trans people. So
what an identity would be other than its genetic fallacy origin of not meaning to be a literal thing. So in an internal
Let's wrap
critique
up
of his
shortly.
worldview, it would meet all those things, which would prove hypocrisy, which would prove the point of Sargon and Blair White and Black Pig and Speech, that yes, this does demonstrate the hypocrisy of the woke worldview because their own standard fails because they
Must
just
jump.
reject things by subjective opinion.
Bubble, we are going to jump into the Q&A. Want to remind you folks, our guests are linked in the description. For
oh god, that was extremely painful. It's extremely painful. That took several hours to deconstruct. Alright. I need to go to sleep, so I hope y'all enjoyed this segment. I know there's not many people in the chat here tonight, but I can't. I just can't anymore. My brain hurts. So I will see y'all. I want to say next. I want to say tomorrow night, but probably not gonna be tomorrow night. We'll see what happens, but I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good